those of you who can't see me, John is just giving you a quick tour around the kitchen.
Oh, you want to say anything?
And I've decided I am. You can speak, John.
I can deal with silence. You two clearly can't.
I don't know whether it's a good idea, this. So everybody, what John's doing is...
let's go back to normal.
Let's go back to normal. So I'm here with Marion Frost tonight, so hope you give her a big thumbs up and a welcome to the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. I'm ever so excited about having her here. And as it happens, she's excited too about being here, aren't you?
Yeah, I am.
She wrote back in the email and said, I'm excited too, Carol, I wasn't all chuffed. Anyhow, so she's here tonight to show you how her patchwork cutters work. She's going to tell you all about them. I must admit, I have seen them, never used them, and I am equally excited to see how she uses them, how she makes these amazing, fantastic designs out of what appears to me a little cutter in a bag. So they're great. So what John was going to do is, because while the audience was building, was show you some of the wonderful things in the kitchen. So while we're waiting for the audience to build, I'm actually going to get Marion to start off at that corner. So if we get you there, you can quickly skim past them all.
Right.
With John, we'll come back here.
Okay.
And John can, do you want to go around that way? Yeah. So do you want to tell them all what they are?
I will. So this is the bunny set, and I've done some sample plaques on there with bending the ears over for the bunnies, making a little nappy for the baby bunny. And then they're on the main cake here.
They're gorgeous. They're so pretty.
One of them's flying up on a bunch of balloons. And then moving on, we have the stag set, and that's sort of in conjunction with the trees from the countryside set. You can also use the stags for little baby cake, so you can put them on the side design for the baby cake. And then the other new cutters are the antlers here on the, just a very quick novelty sort of cake. And you get them in 4 sizes. One has come to grief on the way here, so we've got the cupcake, and then cookie, and then there's a smaller cake which we've lost. We've lost his antlers. We've lost his antlers. Oh, we haven't got any to. No. And then the largest one's there. So yeah, the antler set. And then this is the owls over there. So we've got owls on a swing, and then you can use them for Christmas. You do, in that set, you do actually get the little hat and the moon, the stars, flowers, holly. You don't get the presents, but everything else.
It's absolutely amazing, I think.
Lots and lots in that one. So you can use it. Again, this is the countryside set, so you can use it with that to make like a summertime. Nice for school fairs and things, this one. Or even, it's got a little heart on its chest, so it can be for Valentine's, something like that. And then onto the shed set. So I'll be showing you this later. So that's the shed, the beach hut, the kennel, the little house, the bird house, and then just the front of the shed for this side design over here. So there's lots and lots of different uses for that. I know people have made a stable with it, and of course you can use it for a little grotto. So lots there. And also the little flower box over here. So that's using just that bottom part of the shed to make the little flower box. It could be a cake, it could be, I used chocolate crispies as a base. And I'll show you later on about putting that into a little milk carton to make the shape. And then we've got Ollie Owl over here, which I've used our gerbera.
He's beautiful.
Flowers for the eyes, and the large Christmas roses, which I'm going to show you later. And then we have the new stencil, because we do make stencils. And this is the large and small stencil, the snowflake.
So our audience has grown really well.
Pink, we have over there, we've got the, well, this one is the family silhouettes, and then we have the wedding silhouettes, and round the back we've got the countryside. So do you want me to turn it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Shall I If you just catch the top, John, and then Brian can at the top as well.
So that's the countryside set, and then later on I'm going to show you how to make the freestanding bride and groom. What's the easiest way to make it? So the technique I use for that is the same for the large music notes or the numbers and letters, so the technique's the same. And then this is the family, so this is great for Mother's Day, anniversaries. You've got different parts there that you can use, Father's Day and engagement. So yeah, it's not just for a family walk in the park.
Well, we're doing very well. We're up to 136, Marion.
Oh,
which is brilliant.
Right.
Good. So guys, back with us in the kitchen. What do you think of those amazing beauties? They're great, aren't they? I tell you now, you are going to be so excited with the things that she's going to do tonight. I've been so excited just running in and out of the kitchen looking at them all. Absolutely amazing. And I actually met Marion at Cake International in November and had a really good nosy round her stand there, and I went, Marion, just bring it all. Unfortunately, she couldn't bring it all, but she's brought as much as she can fit in the kitchen tonight. So we're going to get started in a few minutes. So if all of you'd like to put those thumbs up and likes up and let Marion know how wonderful her cake display is.
Yes,
so she's new to Facebook Live. Oh, no, you've not done one before?
No.
No. And she doesn't do a lot on Facebook either. She lets her son do it for her. That's a bit like Johnny lets me do it. Me and Maria play with it and leaves it alone. So anyhow, so let's get cracking and show John over here what we've got over here in a minute. So just so you know, some goodies in the kitchen, okay? So Marion is going to use some of the Renshaw flower modelling paste, and she'll explain to you why she uses this range, okay? She also uses some of the ready-made roll-out icing. I've already brought in some other modelling pastes because some of you may have some favourites. So I've just thought to show you the whole colour range. We've got the Cake Style modelling paste. The Saraceno is here. We've got sugar, what's it called? Squire's Kitchen. We brought in the CMC because I know some of you are going to ask about that. The Tylo powder, the Squire's Kitchen, I can never say it, whatever. The glue. We're going to use this tonight. This is a newbie. You asked me to get this. I've never seen this before, so you're going to use this tonight, aren't you? Which is fantastic. Okay, and I just wanted to show you guys, we brought in Sugar Paste Direct, their new colours. I know you can't really see through the bags, but it's an amazing yellow colour, leaf, Atlantic blue, the black. We do post a red, which I forgot to bring, and the hot pink is absolutely gorgeous. And Sugar Paste Direct are also doing a trial on modelling paste, on flower paste. So any of you guys who are looking to give that a trial, that's on the website as well. And we've got some of the tools that Marion's going to use tonight, smoothers, rolling pins. We do tools in sets there as well, brushes. So just to remind you that, you know, everything is on the website, that if you need it, and we'll have all the patchwork cutters there as well. So we're back round to the front then, John? Yeah? And who are we going to say hello to tonight?
We've got lots.
We've got lots of people. You're not shouting any out. Hello, shall I shout them out?
You can show them out.
Yeah. Oh, and I need to, before I start shouting out, let me just tell you guys about these. So I told you a few weeks ago that the Great British Bake Off, Look Productions had been in touch with us. They got in touch with me not last week, the week before, and asked me would I ask you guys if any of you were interested in entering the Great British Bake Off next year. So they have given me a website for you to apply to, and there it is. So there's a phone number, you can phone them and ask for an application form. Just let them know that Sugar and Crumbs told you where to go. And there's a website that you can apply to as well to fill in an application form. So any of you who want to try and get on the Great British Bake Off next year, I hope one of our fans does. It'd be great if one of you got through. So there you go, guys. If anybody wants that information, I can give you that later. And then just for you guys who can't think of anything for Christmas, or you need to give your husband a massive big hint, we brought out these vouchers, okay? Hi guys, so I'm not sure at which stage we got interrupted there. So did we get interrupted at this bit, John, or just afterwards?
After that.
Okay, so while the audience is building again, and I'm going to pass you over to Marion, I'll just go through the gift vouchers. So if you've got a fellow baker, a big hint from the husband, boyfriend, what you would like for Christmas. We do these lovely little gift vouchers. You can buy them online on the website. They come in a nice little card, and you can send us a message of what you would like written in the card if it's for a gift for somebody. So, as I say, they're on the website. We do them in 20, 30 and £50 to buy all your sugar and crumbs goodies. And hopefully our audience is growing again. If we disappear again, this is not anything to do with us, with the internet settings guides. This is something to do with Facebook. So Facebook, I don't know why, just suddenly cuts out every now and again. So hopefully we're going to continue the rest of the podcast, broadcast, whatever you want to call it. We're not going to have any more interruptions. And I'm going to hand you over to Marion. Are you ready to go?
I certainly am. Yes.
Has our audience got back to where it was?
It's getting there. We're up to 94.
Fantastic.
Okay.
We're
Nearly there.
with us soon.
We're over the 100.
Yeah.
Right,
And
I'll carry on then. Yeah.
I'm going to shout out questions. I'll be your little Joey.
Okay, lovely. Right, so first of all, I'm going to use our new stencil cutters, and I'm using the Renshaw Ready to Roll icing because this is going to go directly onto the cake. So, well, it would go directly onto the cake. I've actually got a plastic cake. I'm going to use a little cupcake here that I'm going to use at the moment. Okay, so use the sugar paste. Just going to give that a little knead.
Oh, we're back to where we are again.
Everyone back, yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll just shout out a few hellos. Hello, Lynn Heather. Hello, Julie Smith. Hello, Michelle Smith. Oh, we've got 2 Smiths. Selma. Oh, we've got a guy on it. Ian Bruce. And Rob Allen. So 2 guys here. Hopefully we'll get a few more. Hello, Trish. Go on then.
Right, so I'm rolling out this. Now, you've noticed I put a little bit of Trex underneath, not icing sugar. I don't want icing sugar on this at all because the stencil won't stick to it if it gets on there. So I'm using Trex. Now, I'm using Trex with all the Patchwork Cutters later on as well. So it's just straightforward Trex that you get from the supermarket. I won't mention the... Well, Sainsbury's.
There's only one Trex,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Not every supermarket sells it, but there you go. But I noticed before that you had on your stand petal base,
Yes.
PME petal base, so you could use that if you didn't have any of the Trex, as long as it's not lard or anything like that.
Yeah.
Right, so make sure that's, just rub your fingers over, make sure you haven't got any ridges on there, and then you're going to take the stencil, so I'll use one of the larger ones, just roll over to make a good contact, so you get large and small in the pack, and then I'm using the beautiful colour, this one, the Colour Splash Forget Me Not. Just put a little bit of that in my lid. It's going on dry. Pick a blue brush, work the colour into the brush, and then just go over the stencil. Now keep the dust colour to a minimum. Don't have loads of it flying around everywhere, and avoid getting it underneath the stencil. So just brush that carefully. Now you can do 2 colours. I'm just going to go along the edge with some lilac. Just make sure. And with your stencils, when you come to clean them, just hot soapy water, but make sure that they're nice and flat. Never let them bend, because that encourages the colour to travel underneath. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of the lilac and just go around the tips there. Don't have to do that, but I like to just introduce another colour. So take off as much loose colour as you can, and then find the little thing there and pull that away.
Oh, that's pretty.
And then you can just take a little round cutter. So you haven't got any colour in the outer edge of the icing, so you can reuse that, no problem. Need that, put it back in. And so that would go onto a little mini cake, maybe a 4-inch cake. And then we have some here. When I put that icing, I'll put it over there. You can see here that I've done the smaller ones on just digestive biscuits. So they're great for Christmas fetes, fairs, anything that you're trying to raise some funds for. So a pack of digestive biscuits, and then you can quickly do the stencils, or even have a go table at your school fairs. So that the kids can have a go.
Absolutely love that. They love that. They love the colours, and
beautiful
who's
colours.
just asked me. Lynn Feather says, "Can you airbrush over the stencil?"
You can, yes.
Yeah, you can, Lynn.
Yeah.
John, they said, "Can you do a close up, please?"
Oh, right. move that out of the wedge. That's it when it's on a small cake, so you can see the size that you've
I
got
love the
there.
colours there. You wouldn't think just adding that bit of purple would make
Just
such a
edges
difference.
it, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
lovely. And she's using the Colour Splash Dust Ladies, £2 a tub.
Beautiful.
Very reasonable.
Beautiful, yeah. That's only £2 a tub.
£2 a tub, I know.
Wow.
Well, that's very good, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is 5
Yeah.
grams a tub, but they give you a
Yeah.
big tub so that you can wiggle your brush in.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that, how many stencils do you get in that pack, Lynn?
2. You get large,
Yeah,
large and small.
And
And that's
how-
the large one.
Yeah.
And then the small one, I've used, just get a bit of dust off there. The small one I've used on the little biscuits, on the
Right,
cookies.
super.
Okay,
Yeah, super
So-
duper.
I'll just get rid of that. Pop that to one side. And I'm going to crack on with a set which is called the Large Christmas Rose. Now, I'm going to use it for some small roses. So the first thing I need to do is, I like to put my roses on cocktail sticks because cocktail sticks are food grade. So I can put that directly into a cake. So I've already coloured my flower paste. I'm just going to take a little bit of pink. You can do them in white. You can use all your old bits of flower paste up for this because you don't actually see any of that cone. So into a ball, into a cone, and then I'm going to dip the end of the cocktail stick in a little water, and then you would leave that to dry at least overnight.
So what's the difference between you making it with the sugar paste there and using the plastic one?
The sugar, which
Well,
one,
you've
sorry?
made those are made with sugar flour paste. aren't
Flour
they?
paste, yeah.
And why would we
Right,
use
okay,
those?
with the styrofoam ones, yeah, sorry. Okay, you can use these, but normally wired,
Ah,
yeah, and I'm
Right.
going to go on to those later on because I'm going to
Ah.
show you the large grandiflora rose with that one. So, yeah,
I'm jumping the gun then.
you are,
Right.
yeah.
Someone's going to ask that question shortly. I know they
Yeah,
are.
yeah. So I just like to put these on the cocktail sticks because also they make a nice sized rose to go inside a cupcake. So you could push that into the cupcake and your rose is not going to fall off. And they're easy to put on the sides of a cake. So sometimes when you try and push or attach the rose onto the side of the cake, it's difficult because it's going to fall off. So this you can just push straight in. So I'm going to show you how to do the rose now.
So somebody's just asked what stencils. Angela, you've just missed the snowflake stencil, so don't worry, you can go back to it later. And by the way, everything that Marion uses tonight is on the website under cutters or patchwork cutters.
Right, so I'm going to use the
And we do sell the Colour Splash.
flower paste.
Yeah,
as
we're
well,
just
yeah.
asking.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah, looks nice, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I'm using a little Trex on the board. And I'm going to roll out. So this is the set I'm using now. We've got the flower. Just get rid of that Trex off there. And then you get a left and a right facing leaf. A little embosser to go around the side, which is really nice for embossing and painting. That's another sort of technique. Holly, because it is classed as a Christmas rose, this. I'll show you that one in a minute. And then this makes edible stamens, so I'll show you how to make those as well. So I'm going to roll out the paste, and with patchwork cutters, the most important thing is you roll, but don't lift the paste up and down. You want a good contact with the board, so that when I do use the flip the cutter away, the paste will stay on the board and not lift into the cutter, which is important when you've got really detailed cutters. There are one or two exceptions, which I'll show you later on and explain why, but at the moment I'm rolling this really thin. Okay, keep going. You should see, if you were on a pattern board, you'd be able to see the pattern starting to come through. Okay, so that should do it.
208 viewers live so far, Marion.
It's what, sorry?
209 viewers so far.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
Fab. Now, I'm rolling a little bit of Trex, rubbing a little bit of Trex on that cutter, and I'm going to need 3 layers per rose. You can do 4, but I find 3 is enough. So, go 1, 2, 3. Press firmly. Now, because I haven't lifted the paste up and down, I'll be able to just pull that away and then leave the flowers behind. So there shouldn't be anything lifting into that cutter. Okay.
And always remember to wrap up your sugar paste.
But yeah, your flour paste. It's handy sometimes actually if you I've finished with that now, but if you're going to have it on the go, just have a little pot to cover it over, which is handy instead of having it all the time. Right, so I'm going to find my sponge pad. Now the easiest way to lift them, I find, you can use a knife or you can just get a piece of thick paper thin card, whichever way you look at it, and just slide that underneath. And then I'm going to use a bone tool. Now when you soften the edge, and you may want to cover this with a piece of plastic bag or laminated paper, something like that. And I noticed that you have got over there a petal. I'm just going to get it to show you. These are very good. The Stay Fresh multi-mat, so you can put things like that over your petals.
Feel free to use it to show them.
Sorry?
Use it in tonight's demo, you know.
It's just a little bit big to go on there, but I would actually cut that into 4, or at least cut it into half, so you've got 2 lots.
Oh yeah.
If you're not using it on a large piece. Right, so now with a bone tool, I'm going to soften the edge. And I have my bone tool pointing upwards. I like these particular make, and I'm used to handling it, so I'm not going to change now, but there are lots out there, and I've noticed, Carol, you've got lots different ones over there for sale, so they all do the same job. Right, so I'm going to place that just on the edge of the petal, and I'm going round like so, and that just creates a little bit of movement. Now if I go too far in with the bone tool, this happens, and I'm cupping it, and that cut edge doesn't move at all. Can you see the difference on there? So you just go round that, half on and half off. When you place it, it should be half on and half off the paste. And then I'm not rolling this. I noticed quite often watching people work that they actually roll that over, and it's not that. You place it on and you drag it round, so that gives the little bit of movement on there.
Iris Shuttleworth has just said she had that cutter of yours for ages and never managed to do a successful rose, and she's now just seen where she's gone wrong, so thank you.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
Iris was at your toy box class.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Oh, great, great. They all did a wonderful job. Wonderful. Right, so now I've made a hole in the centre of the card there, and I'm just going to slide that so that the hole is in the centre of the flower. That's going on there, and I'm going to lift one and wrap it round really tight so that when you look from the top, you can no longer see the top of the cone. You know, that's why it doesn't really matter about the colour of the icing, because you cover it. So you miss a petal, you bring that up to the same height, wrap it round tight. Miss a petal, up, wrap it round tight, up, and everything should be at that same height. And then you can press round the base to make that nice rounded shape. So those last 2 petals, I'm just going to curl out a little bit. Now that could stay like that. That could be a bud. If you were going to do a little arrangement, you wanted some buds in there. Right, so I'm going to just quickly go on to, I'm going to stick that in the end there. You should always have a dummy to stick it into.
Just what you want to do to your nice foam pad.
Yes, yes. Right.
Should I move that cake out of the way?
I have got, which one?
That one.
I'm going to
just
use
making sure Maria doesn't.
Oh, right, no, it's all right. If you can knock it on the floor, you've got about 2 hours to re-ice them in the wall. Okay, so I'm just going to go around this.
They're all liking this. They're glad you're doing it, because this is where they all struggle.
Right, okay.
So Maria Wilson has just said she can never do this bit on the edge. So
right.
I don't know whether John might be able to get a real good close in on the third one.
Okay. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to turn that over, and I'm going to moisten across the centre and about good 2/3 of the way up. Now I'm not going to slide it onto the little thing here. I will do for the Grandiflora rose later, because that's much larger and I do need that. So this one I'm just going to scrape onto my fingers like so, and where the 2 petals meet, I'm just going to cover over that, and I'm pressing at the base this time, not taking much notice of the top. Pressing at the base. Miss one, up, press it on. Miss one, up, press it on. Now people who are really into flowers maybe a bit horrified at this because they took this in and they took that in. But these are quick roses,
I'm
so I'm
not
not
horrified
really
at
going
all.
into that.
Listen, these lot and me are not horrified at
Right,
all.
okay.
We're all in amazement.
Right, so that last 5, I'm just curling back. Yeah. Right. Like so. So that's sort of the next layer. Now, when I was saying about don't stick it in there, what you should really do, and I'm just going to pinch that, John, sorry, I'm just going to take the gummy, because this is the easiest thing in the world to make, but it's really, really handy. If you've got 3 cocktail sticks, about 3 anyway, and pop that on, like so, and pop that on top, you're actually making a little hanger, if you like, for your flowers, so you can just pop everything upside down.
Oh, look at you, how clever.
Yeah, so you can do very large ones, so it just looks like a little bit of a carousel. So I'm just going to put that to one side while I work on the final one.
Hey, I tell you, you get all the tricks here. That's very clever.
There
I
you
like
go.
that one. Helen is hooked. Everybody thinks it's beautiful.
Oh, very good. Very
Hey,
good.
we learn it all here, don't we, guys? I love it.
Right, so this last one, you see, I wouldn't roll
Just
out.
stop for a minute, Marion.
Oh, right,
just
sorry.
let John go in really close
Okay.
while you do that.
Okay.
I'm going to move this cake just a minute, because
Okay.
and I'll bring this cake back when you're ready.
Okay. So it's half on and half off the paste. Just do it slowly. Now, if your paste is too thick, what happens is this sinks in your paste and will split it, and then you're pushing against the icing. So you want your paste to be nice and thin, so this will just roll over the top. Too thick and you're making it hard work for yourself. Okay, so you've got a nice bit of movement there. So this is the last one. I'm turning it over, and then this time, and the reason I turn it over, so the petals appear to be falling away from the flower when I put it on the back. So I'm just going to put some water. I don't use sugar glue. You can use sugar glue if you want to, but I always find too much makes everything a bit too slippy.
Right, a couple of people have said, why would you hang them upside down? I know.
Because when this has got the last layer on, if you leave it upright, it starts opening too much. So I leave it upside down for about 2 hours, and then I take them out and put them the right way up. So it opens a little bit, but not too much.
There you go, Lynn.
So
There's
this
that
one,
for you.
I'm putting like this. But instead of putting it petal by petal, I just flip it over and press round and then curl back. So I'm just curling back those petals like so. All right?
How
So that
pretty
gives
is
you a
that?
little rose like that. Now if I put it that way up, see what's happening, you're going to get too much movement and everything sort of drops by and drops away. So just for a couple of hours, leave it upside down in your little carousel and then stand it upright. So I've got some already here that I've made.
Yeah, Sue Pinnock saying hi.
Hi Sue!
So Helen Price has said she realises that's her problem. She's not rolling it thin
Thin
enough.
enough. Okay,
Great tip for the hanging the rose.
great, okay. Right, I'm going to...
And you're being told you're doing a great Facebook Live, since you've never done one.
Oh, thank you very much.
That was
Rebecca.
Selma.
Oh, thank you, Thelma. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to go in with a darker shade, and I'm just putting a little bit of pink in there. You see the difference that makes? Just a hint of pink in the centre. So these have all been made yesterday. I'm just finishing them off. And I had actually dusted some of them, but not dark enough.
Just give John a quick look at the camera. One.
You can see that. Yeah.
Got that one.
Yeah.
Okay. So a little bud there. Yeah, Sue is one of our accredited demonstrators. She does great patchwork cutter downs.
She's coming on in March.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. You're in for a treat. Okay.
Everyone says they look absolutely beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. And they don't take too long. So that's the best part of it, really. Especially if you're going to put them on little cupcakes or something. Right, so these are the buds.
And we're just saying, how long do you need to leave them upside down?
2 hours.
2 hours.
Depending on the warmth of the room,
Yeah.
but usually 2 hours. Right, so then I'm going to take some isopropyl alcohol, ethanol, I think it's called now. It's food grade. Make sure when you use this, it always says on the bottle, whether it's a large one, which is far more economical, or a small one, that it says food grade, because you can buy this in a chemist, which is a muscle rub.
Yeah, no, we only do that size, but I've not put it on the website.
See,
It will go on tonight.
Food grade, yeah. And then if you've got a little dropper bottle, you can always fill that, fill it up from the large one, so it's far more economical
Do you know
to get
what
the
that
large
bottle
one.
is?
£5.
£5. That'll go on the website tonight,
£5.
guys.
The little one's usually around about £2.25, so you can see the difference that you're going to get.
It's going to be daft not buying that one then, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, it's the only one we're going to sell.
Well, there you go. Right, so I'm just going to move that out of the way, and I'm going to bring in a green. Now I'm going to use this shade of green, which is really pretty.
Funny enough, Karen Naylor said, can you show us how to finish them with the greenery? They can't wait, these people, can they?
Who's that?
Karen Naylor, she was here last week.
Oh, right. Okay.
She's going to show us how you finish them with the green. She's that excited.
I am.
Hang on, Karen.
And it's really easy. So I'm using isopropyl alcohol in the lid, and I use it in the lid because when the alcohol evaporates away, that will go back to a dust. So you put your lid on, you're not wasting any of your dust, rather than mixing it in a palette. So I'll take one that I haven't finished the back. So all I do then is, how you can see it there, but I'm just going to paint that little calyx on. So there should be one behind each petal. So you can start off first of all with that, and I'm just going to fit in another one there and there. Because they're quick cakes, you can, certainly if you're going to go into great detail and you want to cut them out of icing.
The next one you do, is there any chance you can tip it towards John's camera?
Yes.
Be a bit difficult for you.
No, it's all right. I'm very good at balancing on one leg, no problem. Okay, so I'm going from there. So it's the back of each petal will have a
They love
bit
that
of green
idea,
on.
painting it on.
Saves time.
Yeah.
Saves time. Right. Okay. So the little bud would have...
Fabulous, we like that.
Good. So again, I'm just doing it this way up because I can see
They're
better.
all saying they never even thought about painting it on. What a good idea.
Oh, well, this is, way back, tips that you pick up over the years as you go, and probably in the British Sugarcraft Guild magazine, always had lots of good tips in that.
231 watching.
Okay. Right, so just going to clean my brush with the water and pop that in there. So I'm just going to quickly cut out some little white flowers because I want, and the leaves, because I want to put these onto the side of a cake, just to show you how easy that goes on. Make space and stuff. Can I pass that over?
You certainly can.
Thank you, love. Tom.
And can I take your tray so John can watch you do your white ones?
Which? Oh yeah. I'm just going to make these little tiny ones here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me back
Thank you,
when
love.
you need it.
I'll need that in a minute. Yeah. And to make those, I'm using the calyx out of the Grandiflora rose, which is the one I'm going to go on to next. But I'm just going to take the little tiny calyx out of here. Let me see, where is it? Have I not put it back in? Maybe not. Okay, I'll use the middle-sized one. It'll be there somewhere, probably in my workroom.
Jane's asked if the powder goes clumpy when she adds the alcohol. Why is that?
She probably needs just to add more alcohol to it, and make sure that she hasn't got any like icing sugar or fat in anywhere near it. But it shouldn't go clumpy if she's using the isopropyl alcohol. And again, depending on the dust itself, it could be a little bit grainy. Depends on the brand that you're using. But
Well, I know Jane, if
any...
Jane gives me a call tomorrow, if Jane messages me with her phone number, I'll give her a call tomorrow and I can talk her through it.
Yeah, it really depends on the... if it's a good fine powder and the alcohol, you shouldn't get any problem with that. Right, just looking for some white flower paste. And we'll have to pinch one for over here.
Go on, carry on. It's on the top. Yeah, there it is.
Okay. I'll just take a little bit of the white flower paste to make these little flowers. These are really handy just as little fillers when you're putting flowers on a cake. And I'll also do a leaf flower. So you do have a little peel thing here. People do tell me off for not using this.
Do you know what? I always forget about that.
I do. I usually
do you want to show them what it is that you're doing there?
I'm taking that off, wrapping that over, and then that goes over the top to seal it. And that
I
keeps your paste
completely
out.
forget about that, and I'm glad you've showed them that.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I'm always reaching for plastic bags
Yeah.
to put them in, but that's what you should be doing. And also, talking about tips in guild magazines, many years ago, in the 80s, when I first joined the British Sugarcraft Guild, I found one of the most helpful tips in that, you know, sometimes you put your sugar paste in cling film to store it, and the cling film breathes, so you end up with your sugar paste actually getting skin on it.
Yeah.
So if you take that and put it in something airtight, like a Tupperware box or a plastic airtight, with a whole lemon, and look at it every 2 hours, it goes soft again.
Really?
It's something to do with the skin on the lemon.
Hey guys, did you hear that?
So try that. 2 ladies, when I used to teach in Liverpool, said it didn't work for them. One had gone on holiday, and 2 weeks later, when she came back, there was this mush in the bottom of the box, so that didn't go down so well.
So you did say every 2 hours.
Yes. And the
Not
other
2
lady
weeks.
had left cling film on the icing, so
Yeah.
they couldn't.
You know what that's
take the
called?
oil out.
User error.
Yeah.
We love that, don't we?
Right.
User error. Whenever we speak to anybody, we find out it's always user error. Even
That's
my
it.
audience know when I say to them, it's user error.
Right. So what I'm going to do now?
What are we using to cook the?
Trex.
Yes.
I'm using Trex, which is a vegetable fat.
Yeah.
Just have some.
You
out
put it
there
under your
before.
book there.
It's down here.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, so in supermarkets, it's vegetable fat, not lard. Don't
If
get
they
lard,
can't
it'll go
get,
wrong.
if they can't get that, just grab that petal.
Right,
base
oh
over
yeah,
there.
the petal base, that's also
Yeah.
very good. If you can't get hold of the Trex, then get
Use
the petal base. I'll just keep that handy in case
Yeah.
anyone has
And if you
something.
see that Marion's put her Trex into a little tub there, finger bowl,
Yeah,
just so that she can work with it.
yeah, yeah. Right, so this is my little calyx, which if I'm going to make other roses and I want to have a separate cut-out calyx, I would do that in green and slide it up the back of the rose. But to make these little flowers, I'm just going to put my... Before, when I was going round the edge of the petal and I was softening it to get movement, this time I'm just laying that on there, and I'm using this part here, which is like the heel of the bone tool. So that's in the middle, and then you just stroke that left and right, and that just widens it. So left and right, turn. Let's see. So I'll leave that one where I haven't. Can you see the difference? That one I haven't touched yet. So it's just widening it and getting a little bit of movement on there. Okay.
Super. Trish Cooper said, what is the best thing to wrap your icing in then?
Well, if you're going to put it in cling film, then put it in a plastic bag as well,
Yeah.
because that just stops it from drying out.
Could get one of the Ziploc bags, couldn't you?
Yeah.
So there you go, Trish. If you want to wrap it in cling film, then put it in a Ziploc bag as well.
Yeah.
And can you just repeat that tip about refreshing the
What, the
taste
lemon?
of lemon?
Yeah, you unwrap your icing and put it in a something airtight, like a Tupperware box, with a whole lemon. Don't cut the lemon; it's the skin that extracts something out of the skin. I don't know what, but it does make the icing. It'll go soft again. Look at it every 2 hours. Depends on how hard it was when you
And
put it in
that's
there.
for people who have stored their icing in cling film, and when they come to undo it, this icing sugar is not.
It's got like a skin.
Yeah.
It's got a bit of skin.
So it's
there.
only for people who have done that and they want to get it soft again.
Yeah. So I put my little flower that way over. It was actually that size of the calyx
Yeah.
that I use for that one. So when they're dry, then I take that out. I pop a little bit of icing in the bottom, like this, and then put a little pearl in. So they just make really nice little filler flowers. I'm just going to put that to one side, and I'll use those in a moment. Right. So I'm just going to pop those onto a cake now. Oh, my cake went, didn't
Do you want the cake back?
Yes, please, love.
Yeah.
Oh, no, hang on. No,
Yeah.
sorry. I was going to cut out some leaves. I've got sort of carried away myself there. So I'm just going to cut out some leaves. And I like to put these on while they're still soft so you can fit them in and around the flowers. So just roll out. Now, I want these in ivory. I'm going to work with white paste. And when I'm colouring, I like to colour on a piece of laminated paper. So I used this before to cover over the icing to keep it soft. But I also do all my colouring on this The reason being, you can wipe it down when you're finished using it, so you can use it over and over. I'll just cut out one because I've already got a load cut out. Right, so I'm just going to lift that. So because I've rolled on Trex, that will stay there. It's not going to move. So if you put it on kitchen paper, you're chasing it. Everything's moving around. So that will stay where I want it to be. So I could have a whole sheet full. Couldn't think of the word then. That would be completely gone out of my brain. And I'm just going to look for a nice, something like a nice coffee. This one's called Nude, which this will do nicely. I'll just open it.
So all the colours Marion's using today is the colour splash dust. So if any of you want to know what colour she's used all the colour splash dust. They're £2 a tub, 5 grams per tub.
Okay, so I'm just going over that with some of this nude. Okay, you can just blend that in with your finger and then lift that onto your sponge pad. Either a nude or an ivory is fine. And then again, I'm going to soften just as I did with the flower, so half on and half off the paste, and just stroke that round from the point round to the tip, to the base of the leaf there. And then I would just dry that on, again, piece of sponge, or use directly onto the cake. You could just leave it firm up for about 10 minutes and then add them to the cake. So I've got some here, so I'm going to put all this onto the cake now. Thank you, love. And to attach the little flowers, I'm just going to take, thank you, a small amount of sugar paste that I used before, and I'm going to add a touch of water to it. Thanks, love. Let's put that there. Okay, so a little bit of water, and I'm going to paddle this to make a little glue. I don't know if you can see that. Is it in your way? But so I'm just paddling it to make, this is just ordinary sugar paste, not flour paste. Flour paste is too firm to do this with.
And you guys, Karen Davis showed you how to do this before, so
yeah, you can pipe with it.
This shows all the top people who use sugar paste, this is what they do.
Yeah, because you can pipe around the base of your cake as well, so you're always going to match the colour exactly.
Yeah.
So make that, you don't want it too thin because it's got to hold this little flower in place. Yeah. Right, so I'm going to go back to this cake.
And Wendy, yes, we did use the nude dry.
Yes, I'm not painting, I'm just colouring in now.
Yeah.
Right, so on a real cake, you would decide how you're going to have this little arrangement. I'm just going to start to, this is a dummy cake, because, right, I need that to, a real cake is pointless when I'm doing demonstrations, so I use dummies, but on a real cake, that will hold. Now, you can imagine trying to get that rose, if it wasn't on a stick, trying to get that rose to stay on the side. So I'm just going to put, now this one has had 4 layers. Can you see the difference in size? So I'm going to start off with just the 3 flowers first of all. Move that round. And maybe move that round. I just need to twist it a little bit so that I can see. And then I'm going down to a smaller one. This has got 2 layers. So I think I will put that one there.
Well, they're all mesmerised.
Good. Oh. Ignore the petal that's just dropped off in the hand. You didn't see that. And then I've got a little bud. So these are sweet just on their own. You know, nice little buds. So I'll just put that one.
One poor lady Elaine keeps having power cuts where she is, so she's going to have to watch it tomorrow.
Oh. Right, so I'm going to push another one down here. Now, you can, I'm pushing from the centre, but you can cut the wood slightly shorter if you're working on a dummy, that's fine.
Don't forget to flip it back to John.
And I'm just going to turn that one there. Right, so that's sort of giving me a shape to work to, yeah? And then I'm going to take my leaves, so I've got some already cut out here. So you're watching the same thing over and over. And I've kept them in a plastic bag, so hopefully there will still be a little bit of movement on there. Okay.
The funny John and Maria when they're filming. Eye contact. Who can ever look now?
I just need to.
And you're lucky if you get the cake back. John fights to show the audience. Maria needs it for her filming.
So I'm using these really to just fill in
So
between.
what you're doing is that little sugar paste that you just made before.
Yeah,
that glue.
the softened sugar paste like a glue, and I'm just spreading a little bit on the back. If I just use glue or water, they would probably slip and slide. So this is just filling in any gaps.
Jane Dursley missed what you said before, so I'm going to get you to repeat it. She said, will all that wood be okay in a real cake? So you explain why we can use toothpicks, cocktail sticks, because they're food safe.
They're food graded. So so you would have they're there for cheese and sausages.
Yeah.
So they are food grade. So you can pop those into your cake, absolutely no problem at all. Just want to see if that would just take another one there, I think, just to pad that out a little bit. And then I've got some of those little star flowers. So if I just pop one here.
And this little knife that you're using, we've got these in stock at Chris Cobain.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah.
Chris Cobain's just said, Carol, I'm thrilled with my icing sugars, a new knife. I wanted that knife for ages.
Yeah.
It's great. We've got them in stock. Just if you get a chance to just pop it up to the camera to show John in a minute.
Okay, so I'll just turn. I'll never go anywhere without a little.
It's a mini PME palette knife.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
They're on the website, guys. If
And you can cut with them.
Yeah.
But not marquee boards, so that's a plus. I'm sorry, I just need to turn this. I've got to look at it from the front, otherwise I won't know what things are going to look like. But I'll just pop another flower. You'll know if you sort of half close your eyes and look at it, a gap will stand out, and you can then pop one of your little flowers in. And I think I'll just put one there.
Yeah, Joan, archives. Joan, archives. Joan, she says it's brilliant.
Oh,
your cake looks amazing already.
How lovely.
Oh, and Chris says that knife's a brilliant price too. Oh, thanks, Chris.
It is. Okay.
Sorry, I missed the glue bit. Can you repeat?
Yeah, it's just a small piece of sugar paste, not flour paste. Flour paste is far too firm, so it's a small piece of sugar paste, and then you put water on your knife and really work that in so that you get a nice, not too soft. It has to hold its shape. If I show that to camera, you can see that you're getting, it's holding those shapes. If it runs smooth, then it's too soft, and you just need to add a little bit more flour paste to that.
Now, Wendy Preston says,
sugar paste.
Wendy Preston says, I really need to do flower making class. I'd love to be able to do this. Now, Marion, you can tell them what you do, can't you? You do classes.
I do, yes. I do demonstration days at the moment. We have a lot out now ready for the new year, and we are having also demonstration weekends where we have it's a 2-day event, but we have 3 guest tutors on the Saturday and then 3 different guest tutors on the Sunday. And one, I mean, it's sold out in a few days. The one with Alan Dunn is sold out in about 5 days. But we have got the fabulous Cassie Brown on the April one, and she's doing flowers from her new book, which is a big surprise. Yeah. I don't mean surprise she's making flowers, because she's won gold awards
Just
for her flowers.
explain that to me a bit more, because you do demonstration days at a hotel, don't you?
Yes, I go to Inglewood Manor on the Wirral, and we have 4 demonstrations each day by 4 different demonstrators, and you have an afternoon tea, a 2-course hot buffet lunch, and a goodie bag full of wonderful things. So go on our website and have a look, and if you fancy any of the days, then book. You can either book online or you can phone us up.
And just so you know, Mary and I are doing a day together on the 25th of February.
We are,
so
yeah.
At the same hotel.
Fabulous. Yeah.
Same hotel.
Inglewood Manor. Yeah. It's a wonderful hotel. Really, really look after us. They do.
Yeah. So if you want to come and meet me and Marion, we're both there. Yeah. Just us 2 on one day.
Indeed. Yeah. Yeah. Trouble.
The trouble for you, me there, of course it is.
Right, so everybody happy with that?
They want to see the cake, John.
Okay.
So John is just saying, can they see the cake?
Okay, so that could be a tiered cake, it could be
That's absolutely beautiful, Marion.
Thank you.
And
Yeah.
Tony said you need to come to Australia as well.
Who says that?
Oh, I'd love to.
Who says that?
Tony, I just saw.
Oh, Tony, yeah. Marion, you'll have to come to Australia for one of our cake shows and bring her cutters. Yeah, you'll have to bring your cutters to Australia.
You never know. You never know. You never know. Might be there. Oh, listen. So
Trish
what?
Cooper, I will put the link up for those days. I'll put them up at the end of the night.
Okay. I just want to quickly show you about where the quilter is. I've got a quilting embosser somewhere here. Oh, there it is. So I'm just going to show you this one, just quick cakes. You're still using that rose, and then I'm going to do a quick.
What powders is it you're using? It's a colour splash.
Colour splash,
Colour splash
yeah.
powders, yeah.
The colour splash, which is pretty well all over the table now.
Yeah.
But
So we've put the link up. So if you go to our Facebook page, at the end of the night, there's the whole page is all going to be pinned to the top, and all the links will be on there. Now we did have an interruption tonight, so tomorrow when Maria's pieced it all together, she'll put the YouTube link on so that you get the whole demo all together.
okay, so I'm just embossing with the quilter.
That would be great for Gwen's DK applicator. Have you ever go with any DK
you know what?
applicator?
I have to say, when it was first mentioned to me, I thought, yeah, well, I've got a pair of tweezers.
Yeah.
Being very sort of, I don't know what the word is, but thinking I was clever. I've got a pair of tweezers that does just as, do you know what? I saw it in action at the NEC and I want one. It's absolutely
Yes,
amazing.
fabulous.
Fantastic.
You know what? I will get one for you because Gwen will be happy for you to try it.
Oh, well, I would be very happy if Gwen likes me to try it.
Yes, she
It's
will.
Brilliant, brilliant. Okay, so I'm just embossing that with the quilter. Pop that onto a freshly made cupcake. But I just want to show you now you can, if I was going to do a tray of these, I would ice them all like that and then get the PME pearl spray and spray over all of the cakes at the same time, not just one at a time. And then if you're going to put this on a cupcake, I'm just going to snap this off. But
just let me stop. What do you want to ask me, John?
Just move that.
Can I open up the cake?
right, sorry.
Just so we can get in and film you. Sorry.
Right. Right. So if I was going to cut that, I would use well, I have got cutters there, but it's only a dummy, so it doesn't really matter. But make a sharp cut. Don't have any frayed bits of wood. But that then just sits in there. So your rose again, it's not going to fall away. You could put a small leaf with that, but I just think the duck egg blue and the pink goes really well together. So that's just a quick cupcake one. So that's the quilter embosser, and it's a continual pattern. So you could do a long strip, match them up, and then cut out all your tops from that. Okay, good. So the other one, still using the same cutter, and also this is fabulous for brush embroidery. It's nice and open. Simple design, so anyone just starting out with brush embroidery,
that looks really pretty, just like that, doesn't it?
Yeah,
really effective.
Yeah, I think so. I think I like it. Right, so I'm just going to quickly do this this Christmas.
Louisa Johnstone is from the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. My daughter lives there, Louisa. She's on the Sunshine Coast. So beautiful. Moving back to Perth. Oh, Trisha's moving back there. They all want you to go to Australia.
Right.
Eh? So, Helen Mills, which colour splash was used for the roses? I'll tell you afterwards. We've got one there.
It's petal pink.
Petal pink. Yeah. So it was a pale pink sugar paste.
Flour paste.
Flour paste, sorry.
Pale pink flour paste. But you could just use a little bit of that mixed in.
Yeah.
So you get a very pale colour there. And then you put the darker centre, just the centre in.
So you can either use the pale pink if you wanted to use that.
Yeah.
Or you can use the white flour paste
with
and add
that.
a little bit of colour,
Yeah. Yeah.
And
So
then
you
brush a bit more on after.
always go darker in the centre. So I'm just going to do this little, the Christmas rose, which is exactly the same as I've done the layers for the other rose. But, right, let me get that up.
If you find you're missing stuff, let me know.
Yeah. I'm not the tidiest of workers, you know
it's
that.
right. Just things will get moved out of the way so John can zoom in on what you're doing.
Okay, so I'm just going to now, again using the larger end of the bone tool, and again the heel of the bone tool just to widen these petals a little. You can see, place it in the centre and go left and right.
They love those cupcakes,
Left
the
and
wedding
right.
cupcakes. Really nice.
Perfect, yeah. And you can obviously go with any colours, can't you, for the gold
Yeah.
weddings and things. Yeah. Okay. So that is going to go into a little former, a little plastic.
Leslie Starkey must know you. She's saying hi, Marion, from Jan and Leslie.
Hi, yes, indeed. Hiya. Right, I've got some little plastic dishes somewhere to dry these flowers in.
Oh yeah, they're just gone.
Is that these?
Oh, yes. Thank
Sorry. Let's just move them out of the way. John's elbows.
you. Right. So I use the little paint palettes. Now, I like this one because it's wider and shallower. This one, as you see, it'll give you a more closed flower. So if you want that effect, then use that. If you want a more open flower, use that. So you literally just pop that in, like so, and put a little bit of green in the centre
And I
there.
cheat and use these.
Oh, well, there.
So I cheat and use those boys. And dangle things over. That's what I've had my peaches and my plums in.
Oh, well, did you see that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice
Did you
shape,
catch that?
actually. They are a nice shape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can hang things over them. So if they haven't got these, we sell these as well, by the way, guys.
Yeah. Oh, do you?
Yeah.
The palettes.
Yeah.
Just put a little bit of green in the centre there. And then I'm going to have a little of the yellow paste. So I've added some yellow colour to my flower paste. Now you can use paste colours, you can use powder colours, some use this colour.
We've got beautiful yellow. This one's a gorgeous one.
Oh, that's gorgeous, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh,
They're great, this colour
Really
splash. And this is a matte colour. Oh no, it's pearl. That's
it's
lovely.
such a lot, isn't it?
They do it in the matte as well. So, which these are great just to add to your sugar paste.
Yeah. Yeah,
And you don't- and you don't need much.
It's nice.
I used the orange in the buttercream the other week, and it was absolutely vibrant.
Yeah.
The orange.
Gorgeous. Right, so what I'm doing with this, I'm rolling it out. Now, whereas I said don't lift the paste, because you don't want it to stick in the cutter, what I'm doing with it is absolutely opposite to that at the moment with this. This is the stamen cutter, and I'm going to put some tracks down the centre, plenty down the centre because it's quite detailed, and then place that on top, just tip it over and do a bit of a shimmy just to take that away. Now, the centre part is set slightly back, so doing that won't cut through. So what you need to do then is put your finger on, press firmly, and just drag that along. And you can see the difference in colour, so you know that one side's cut and the other isn't. Put that to one side, just make sure that it's not going to stick on your finger. So you press and you drag that back. Hold it like so. Use a cocktail stick just to
Oh, that's clever.
push that out and lay it down.
Wow.
Now, grass. It would double up as grass, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
So, or
So
monsters.
you would never have thought that would have come out.
Monsters eyelashes. No,
Yeah.
no, it doesn't if you use sugar
Monsters
paste.
eyelashes.
If you use sugar paste, you are now going. It has to be the flour paste.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to take a small piece. Now, unlike the cones that I used for the roses, where I wet the stick and dried them, I'm only using the stick as a handle. So that will go in like so, and then I'm using water on there. Place that on. Just lift to start it off and roll. Now keep the base flat. I'm not going up like a spiral. I'm keeping all that nice and flat. Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
The base on there. Again, water. You can do two. I'm only doing 2 layers. You can do
They said
3.
they would make great unicorn lashes.
Oh yes. Oh yeah, they would.
So guys, I noticed a few of you have just joined us and asked us what we've been using. Unfortunately, because we're so far in now, either people are going to have to answer or you'll have to catch up later.
Okay, so I'm just touching the ends with water, and then I'm going to dip this into Mimosa Sugar Tex. So I'll just put that down there while I get my little pot of Mimosa. And that's it. There, it's grainy. Some people use polenta, some people use ground rice. But I like to use this, and it's so cheap that it's hardly worth opening a packet of polenta for. So that just gives you pollen on the end, and then you touch a little bit of green in the centre. There is enough there.
That's a great idea, that, isn't
Just gives it a nice pollen effect, yeah. And then you go back to the flower that I've made.
Sorry, what's in that little tub?
This is called, it's Sugar Flare Mimosa Sugartex.
Oh.
It's made by Sugar Flare, but it's called Sugartex. I think they do brown, white and yellow. I'm not quite sure if they do other colours. But they're the only three that I ever use. So in the centre with some water, then you twist that away, drop that into your flower, and then open out the stamens. So you've got peace of mind that everything on that flower is edible. So if you put those on top of little cupcakes or a larger cake into an arrangement, you know that everything on there is edible. You're not having people picking cotton stamens out of the teeth, which is never a good look at a party, is it? And you're saying, what's that? So you can leave that as pointed, or you can just go round with your cocktail stick and just knock in a few little holes into there.
Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
that would just be left to dry, and then you can use that with the holly. I won't cut some out because I want to show you the holly, but that's the holly cutter that you get in with that set. So you get the flower, you get holly, you get a left and a right facing leaf so that you can do a nice arrangement, and then you get this nice pretty little embossing one for painting. So I'll just put those two on.
Do you do all these designs yourself?
I do,
Marion?
yes,
Yeah.
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm just going to go on to the Grandiflora rose because I want to show you. I'll just clear that away a bit.
You're just straight on the floor.
For sure.
Yeah, don't worry.
Just follow you.
My kitchen gets well and truly battered on Mondays.
Okay. Right, so this is the Grandiflora rose, and I use the little stamen, the little calyx cutter, sorry, to make the little white flowers that are on the little rose cake. So I'm going to show you now about using, now this is the large one, which I use for poinsettias and all sorts of things. You can make so many flowers out of these, and you get, those are the three sizes of calyx, so it was the small one that I used. And I'm going to make the rose with this one. Just put those to one side a minute. But this one, I've done exactly the same as I've just shown you using the other Christmas rose cutter, and I've made the larger rose. So it's exactly the same way. Widen, soften, put them in the former, and then you do this little, instead of a double-sided, it's only one. So when I cut that out, I cut all those in half, and I usually do 3 layers to make it that full. You can do 2 or 3, but the little centre and everything else is exactly the same. If anybody wants to see that again later, I will, but I feel as though I'm just repeating myself on that one. So just put those to one side. I'm just going to show you, to go with that, I'm going to use the holly. I'm going to make some holly out of this ordinary rose leaf. So I've got some green paste that I've already coloured. Again, Renshaw's, they do have the ready coloured flower paste, and with the Patchwork Cutters it's always flower paste. It's only when it's covering a cake that I use the ready to roll or the sugar paste. Okay, so I'm just going to trex up on here and roll this out. So if you're doing a flower and you think, oh, I haven't got holly or a holly cutter, or I haven't got holly large enough to go with the flower that you're making, then have a go at doing this. Okay, so you would put a little bit of trex on your cutter, depending, you get 2 size leaves in the set. Pressure on the outside edge, and then just take a piping nozzle, and, sorry if my hand's in the way, but there's another way of doing it, and you go round and remove around the outside edge.
That's nifty, isn't it?
Now the thing you have to, nifty nozzle.
Absolutely. Did you catch that? Well done.
I like it. You have to be aware that these come to points. I'm going to do one wrong so that you can see the difference. Right, can you see that they're not pointed, so it's not going to look like holly. So I'm just going to go back over and really bring that to a nice sharp point, like so. And then you can dust them in darker green, or if you're quite happy with that, just move my little knife on there to really get them very untidy. Okay, so that can go on there. And if I'm going to soften the edge, I turn that over, because by doing that, can you see it makes a little bit of a groove as I go round, but you won't see that from the other side. Okay, so then I'm just going to go down the centre with the Dresden tool just to give it a bit of shape, and then that can be left to dry. Okay, now if this one here, they look nice on something like this, which is, now Karen has wonderful bark mould.
Yeah.
So you can do a very, very quick cake, and you can make these well in advance, just have them sitting there. And I have got some holly that I've already cut out.
Yep, they're there.
That's the smaller one. I'll use this bigger one. Ooh, so that's
You've got stuff everywhere, haven't you?
I have, there's so
Yeah.
much.
Don't worry, kick it under there.
I know. I was hoping you hadn't noticed. Right, so if you want a shiny effect, just rub a little bit. If you haven't got any, well, you don't really want the varnish, the food varnish, because it can make them look a bit too shiny. So I just go over with a little bit of Trex, and that just gives a nice gentle shine on there. So I'll just put a few on so that you can see how a little cake, and that would go in the centre. And then that would definitely need, I mean, I'd probably put that one there and attach them all with the softened paste, so that one would go there. But definitely needs a little bit of red on there. So take your red flour paste, and I would just put.
They're all saying thank you so much, they've learned so much tonight.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Great. Okay, so I'm going to make 3 little red berries per side. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's a big one. So they're all shapes and sizes on the thing, aren't they? Right. Put that back in the bag. And then,
Right, can you purchase all the flower paste in these colours, or do you make them yourself? I
Right.
find food colouring makes flower paste watery to work with.
right.
So Ellie, let me just tell you, Ellie, yes, you can buy all the flower paste in the colours, okay?
Yes.
But if it makes your flower paste watery, you're using the wrong type of colouring. And Marion's using powdered colours
To mix into the paste.
into the white.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So if I was going to, for this green,
yeah,
I have used a dark green dust colour.
yeah.
To,
That's what I mean. So
it
Ellie, she's
doesn't-
using dust colours for a sugar paste. She's not using a liquid colour. You can use gels. You don't need as much.
yeah.
What are you looking for?
No, I was looking for. I thought I had a little bit of brown. It's all right. I'll use the
Yes. Right.
paste colour. So I'm just going to use.
You have got it in that cup there.
No, that's
That's
no.
all right.
That's
There's brown
something
paste
else.
over here.
But that's okay. No, it's okay. I just want it like a water.
She's got
like
brown paste
okay,
everywhere.
there. So then this, I'm going to do a shed in a minute. So this one, you just get colour on the end of the cocktail stick and push that into your berry.
Julie Smith says she's dying to have a go at a Christmas rose now.
Oh, fab.
Yeah.
Okay.
So all the patchwork cutters you can buy off our website tonight. They're all there ready. Everything Marion's using is on the site.
So by doing the colour on the end of the stick, you've already got your little berry mark on there. But you could lift it up. And
Karen
then
Davies Woodland Bark is on our website as well.
oh yeah,
Just go to look at Karen Davies.
fantastic it is.
Yeah.
In fact, all the
All the Karen Davies molds are great, aren't
yeah,
they?
they are.
They're so easy to use.
Yeah, she makes my head molds for me.
Does she?
Yeah,
Yeah.
which is another story. I'll show you those another time if I'm asked back.
Yeah, absolutely. Ask back. They were screaming for you to come back.
Oh, that's all right then. Right, so you can see how the red has lifted it. It just
Yes.
automatically looks Christmassy,
It does.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so.
So you've
I'll
not glued that down. You're just showing them.
I'm
that
just
way.
showing them, yeah.
Yeah.
I would glue it down with some of that soft sugar paste that I
Pastry,
mixed before,
yeah.
but I have actually chucked it out.
Right. So guys, she's not glued it down. It's just to show you, but she would actually glue it down with that sugar paste that she made earlier.
Yeah, the
Very
garnish.
easy.
And this shine is magic sparkle, so it's edible glitter. And I mean, I know some people like to wet the cake and then put it on, but I find that can dissolve the magic sparkle in front of your eyes if you have too much moisture. So I tend to rub a little bit of the Trex or the petal base and then sprinkle that on, and it will just hold it in place. So that's that one.
So Margaret Ellis says you're doing a great
Is that Margie Ellis?
Margaret Ellis, yeah.
Hi, Margie.
Yeah, for your first live demo, it's amazing.
Oh.
And Martin Dursley said you must do a return.
Oh.
Him and his wife watch every single week.
Oh.
So
right. Oh, well, that's good.
Martin does most of the comments, so he really gets involved.
Oh, right. Oh, well. Thank you.
Yeah. They're already queuing up asking for you to come back. You haven't even left yet. Make sure you buy all the cutters, guys.
Right, so I'm just going to make this larger rose.
So Pat is asking, what set is the centre of the Christmas rose in?
That's in the...
So it's a whole set,
this
that,
one.
isn't it?
This one I made, not this big one, that's the Grandiflora rose, but the one I made earlier, this one, with the double-sided, is from the large Christmas rose, and they're the cutters that you get with it. You get the holly, and you get this nice little embosser which you can paint or just have it as purely around the board as an embossing.
Let them know which sets at the moment.
So it's the large Christmas rose
I
set.
shall find that set.
Just while you're doing that, I'm just looking for me 22 gauge wire. I've got some here somewhere. Okay, so I'm just making a base now for the large rose. Oh, you can just...
So let me just show them.
Okay.
So anybody who wants to buy the large Christmas rose, that's a set there. It's £6.
And that's that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
then what I'm going to do now...
The Grandiflora rose.
That's the one I've done with the berries on
Yeah.
there. And I'm going to do this large rose with it now.
And the quilter is £4, what you did this cupcake with there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right, so I'm just going to move on to just quickly show you this larger rose.
And which rose was it you used for the pink roses? Which one?
That's the same. It's the large Christmas rose.
The large Christmas rose as well.
Yeah.
So out of that large Christmas rose, you can make those pink roses, which is what
Yeah.
Marion made before for the big cake, and you can make this Christmas rose
No,
here.
not that one. That's the smaller one, which I've just put somewhere. Have you just taken that?
Have you got it there?
No,
it's over there.
Oh, I got it here. Sorry. sorry.
There's
Yeah.
that much on the go.
Yeah.
And on the cake over on the side there
Yeah.
as well.
So you can make both those roses out of the Christmas rose.
What set do you get the stamen cutter?
That stamen, that's the stamen cutter that's in there. Oh,
Is this
should be there somewhere. But it's in that set.
Yeah, don't pull it yet.
There it is
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. So it's in the large Christmas rose.
Large
set.
Christmas rose.
Yeah.
Which is the perfect one for bush embroidery as well if you're going in for that. Right, so these are the little cones now. Now, I was asked before why I use the cones rather than like sugar paste or a flour paste cone, why I'm using the styrofoam. This is going to give me a large rose. And if you can make this in flour paste, but it's very heavy. So this is light, and it just makes a nice base, a quick base. You haven't got to wait for it to dry before you actually make the rose. Right, so the first thing you need to do is get hold of the cone. So I'm going to use the larger flower. If I was going to use the smaller one, I'd use the set of smaller cones that I think you've got there. So now they come with holes already in. If they didn't, you'd have to push a cocktail stick through first and then just feed your wire through.
Carol Day says this is the best demo ever. And let me just answer a question. Joe Fitchett says, can we see the deer cake? Can you wait till she gets to it, Joe? She will show you.
The deer cake.
The deer cake. They're
Right.
rushing ahead, Marion. They're
Right.
loving this.
Right.
So you carry on doing what you're doing. You'll
I'm
have
just
to
going to
wait,
do this.
Joe.
It's all roses at the moment, isn't it?
You'll have to wait. We'll get there.
Right, okay, so I'm just going to cut that there. So I've twisted that round, and then you can actually tape another one to it, so just to give it strength. So I'm just going to push that one in. This is just
Somebody
pure.
just said, is there a larger stamen cutter in the Grandi Rose
Yes.
set? Yes,
Yes.
there is.
Yes, but it's a single-sided one. It's that one.
Yeah.
So when I cut that out, with a knife, I just cut each one fine.
Yeah.
So that makes it easier.
Yeah.
Right, so just stretch your tape, release the gum.
What gauge wire are you using?
22.
22.
Yeah, quite strong,
Yeah.
but still soft, easy to push through and twist.
Yeah.
If you've got any harder, it's hard. It's actually hard to twist
Yeah.
it. So I've added the extra piece that I cut off.
Yeah.
Just-
I've only got
just-
24 and 28. Would 24 be okay?
Put two together.
Put two together.
Do one.
Yeah.
Put through one and wire it as I've done there, and
Yeah.
then maybe add two pieces to it.
Yeah.
You just need something that's going to be firm
Really
enough.
strong.
But yeah, you'll get
Yeah.
away with that. And so this one then is the same as what I'm going to do. I just want to show you this one because I'm just going to lift that. I don't know where that red's come from. Oh, it's off there. It's a slightly different technique to the small rows that I did before, the quick ones. But roll it thin. Again, you don't want to have a huge, a very thick paste, because when you come to soften the edge, it just causes you problems. This set, you can make so much with it. Apart from the cutters that are out here, you also get two just petal cutters, which I make arum lilies with. But this one, I make hibiscus. I do all sorts with this one. And I am supposed to be working on a book, and if Christine is watching...
Christine Ludlam.
No, it's a Christine from Birmingham, and she keeps phoning me up saying, have you finished the book yet? Have you finished the book yet? So she's I won't
It's
let
still
you...
working on it, yeah.
Yes, I won't. I've been working on it for around 18 months now. I keep getting sidetracked, but I will get there. Right, so I'm taking this first one, and again, I'm going to lift it just with that there. Put it on there. Now this is what the difference. I'm laying that on there, and I'm placing it centre, and then just stroke left to right. Left to right. Now, if you wanted to have it textured, I don't bother actually, but if you did want it textured, then you can use your frilling stick, which is this one, and you can roll that over. I don't know if you're going to see that very clearly there, but you can see it's slightly textured, so that's entirely up to you.
I'm just
Now,
moving some of the stuff out of the way so John can get closer.
Yeah. I don't actually do much more to that particular layer. I'm going to slide it on there and then put some water. If I can find my brush, that's it.
Karen Griffiths has just joined us. Iris's daughter, who you met.
Yes.
Yeah, she was at the toy workshop.
Ah, right.
Hi, Karen.
Hi, love.
The blue paper you're using, is it just normal card paper? It is.
It depends how you want to. It's either thick paper or thin card.
Yeah.
However you look at it, but it's just a little bit of something that you can. It's thin enough to slide under. So if you try and use anything too thick, it's more difficult to get it underneath there.
Yeah.
So right, so that's got the hole in the centre, and I'm going to take my wired cone. So this part is very similar. Hardest bit's finding the hole. Oh, it's very similar to the other rows. So I'm wrapping that round really tight so that when you look from the top, you can no longer see that gap. Same height, and then lift and wrap, lift and wrap, lift and wrap. So I'm not taking much notice of the base just yet. Just do that now. Okay. Right. Just going to pop that out. And again, you can make yourself a little dummy to hang it upside down
Do you want
on.
to dummy back?
In a moment, I will. Yeah.
Just shout me.
Okay. Right. So the next layer.
The water pens are on our website as well, guys.
Oh, wonderful.
We have them as well.
You see, water pens are great if you can handle them right. I'm really heavy-handed, and every time, because you're supposed to do that, aren't you? And squeeze that, and then you fill it with water, and you do that. But then I squeeze too much, and I get this big blob of water. So I still tend to dip mine into water.
It still works, though,
But it
doesn't
does work, yeah. They're fabulous because you know which is your water pen straight away. You're not looking at all your brushes thinking, well, which one's for water. I actually have a water pen. It's a lilac one. And I never use water. I always keep it for white satin or white shimmer.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's the one I know it's going
It's going to be.
yeah. Okay, so cut out the other one.
Andrea Shanecki, is that how you say it, John? Shanecki, she said it's the first time she's ever watched a demo and she's loving it.
Oh, excellent. Great stuff.
And she wants it. She wants it all. Patchwork Cutters on our website.
Right, so again I'm going to widen
somebody
this.
will put the link up for you.
So press it, so just place it in the centre and then just put, I'm quite a bit of pressure on there, but you can see from the four that I've done and that one I haven't yet, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just widening those petals and thinning the edges. Right, now I'm not going to go around the actual edge like I did before. I'm placing that on and I'll just press and curl to the centre. You see what I've done? So place that on, press and curl it back. Okay. And some people do it with cocktail sticks, but I just find
That's great.
I haven't got tiny hands and big hands. You think I need a bigger plumbers. Right, so then I'm going to.
My problem because I've got big hands and I always muck it up with a
Yeah,
cocktail
it's just
stick.
anything too dainty. I'm afraid
Yeah.
I don't sort of come to grips with. So I'm just pressing the centre there, and I'm going to moisten that. Okay, and sometimes it's easier to actually moisten it when it's on the card. You've got to get it up. That's it. Right, so then you take the rose, and again, just going to put that a little bit shorter with my pliers. Oh, there they are. You have some pliers somewhere. Okay, so that will go through the centre, like so. Now, where the two petals haven't quite met, that's where the first petal is going to go. Up, press at the base, miss one. Up, press at the base, miss one. So it's exactly the same as the smaller rose that I made earlier. Up,
That's beautiful.
press at the base. Okay, so that gives me that. And then I repeat it, and I repeat it, and then the last one is flipped over. So this one is at that sort of stage there. So that this one has got this and another one. So just save you seeing the same thing over and over. And then this one, I've actually put into a former, and we've got those little formers, haven't we, Carol?
Yeah, we have.
There. I cut out a calyx, a large one in green, and I've placed it in there, moistened it, and I've done all that, which I did on that one then, and I placed that on top. Then moisten that. So this one's dried now, but
The cell formers,
you can
these
do it.
ones that you've been using.
so which ones? The formers. Yeah, now they're great for lilies, they're deeper, and then you've got the other ones, which is this one, which is slightly shallower. You see there, that's the sort of flower that the rose that you get then. Yeah? So you don't have to wait for that to dry, you can do the whole thing straight away, and then just put little bits of paste.
So Cora Teb said, did you use the mini quilter for the cupcake topper? You did.
Not the mini
It's
quilter.
not the mini,
no,
is it?
just
No, just
quilter.
the quilter.
The mini quilter is very, very small. I use that for little baby blankets and things.
So what do you all think of that rose? You're all
So
loving that, aren't you?
you're all okay with that one. So you can, again, you can stop at any level and have buds and things on that
they
one.
love
So
it.
just put that to one side.
I think everyone's going to get roses on their
That's
Christmas
right.
cakes this year.
Look lovely in red, actually, or
In fact, I
gold.
think everybody's going to get roses on everything.
Yeah.
On top of the turkey will be a rose.
That'd be different. Right, so the other bits that I'm going to do now, I just want to explain a little bit about the bride and groom that's standing up over there on top of the silhouette cake. And it's a freestanding, so anything that freestands, I'm always asked this question, so I just want to show you this. I'm using black flower paste.
Can you see it okay? That's what
I was so happy when Renshaw's brought out black flower paste. It was just,
Oh, it just saves your life, doesn't it?
gone.
It's very hard to colour things black.
Yeah. Can't just copy
You can.
Okay, so we've got that's the wedding one, and then we've got the family one on there as well. I think the countryside around the back. But what you need to do for anything freestanding, and this could be a large number or letters or the bride and groom or anything like that that's on top of the cake, use your flower paste.
Take a look.
And I'm just going to use a little bit of the Trex on there. Now, you obviously wouldn't want to be rolling out on icing sugar or corn flour because that would make your black paste really streaky. So that's another reason why I like to roll out on the Trex or the petal base. Okay, so you roll this out and you roll it very thin.
They're all saying I'm staying on my diet tonight because you're using dummy cakes. Every Monday I fail badly.
Oh right, okay.
But tonight I've got nothing to scoff, and if you notice I'm staying away from the sugar base. But what they don't know is that I am eating a Marks and Spencer's lemon mousse while I'm talking to you. Diet.
Oh God. Right, so
Count on a low fat version I'm eating.
so the easiest way of doing anything that's standing up on top of the cake, as I say, it could be a number, it could be a letter, it could be the bride and groom, is to have one, put Trex on there, cut out, so press round the outside.
Karen Naylor says she hates working with black. It always ends up looking grainy. Any tips to keep it solid black?
Well, that's. Do you mean like grey?
I think you just answered the question yourself that Karen's missed. You only use Trex
Yes.
on your board. You don't put any corn flour
No,
down
or icing sugar.
or icing sugar.
No, but
Yeah.
if she found it wasn't deep enough, she could, once it's cut out and finished, she could always brush over with black
I
dust
think,
colour. But
I think it
that,
will be because she's
yeah.
put corn flour or icing sugar on the board
right,
to roll
okay,
down.
yeah.
So she's only Karen. Marion only uses Trex all the time.
Okay, so take that away. And then I'm just going to use a cocktail stick just to remove this little piece here. Okay? And then, no matter what it is that's going to be freestanding, I lift it. So I'm going to lift at the base with my card, about halfway up. And then, can I just disturb you a moment?
Oh, sorry.
And I'm just going to lift that up. And I'm going to turn it over onto my sponge pad.
Karen says she thinks that's the problem.
Right, okay. If she's not using Trex, then yeah.
Yeah.
And even by working icing sugar or corn flour into your paste, it will lighten
Make
it.
it, yeah, it will
So
do. Yeah.
just use the Trex. I'm just going to use that little bit of a cocktail stick to move that. Right, so then you would leave that to dry, yeah? Be it whatever it is you're going to do. And by having a dried one, I've got one here that I made yesterday. All right. If you turn it over to dry, now I've got the surface that I'm going to put water on. I haven't got to turn it over again. But whatever you put on, always check that it is in the right shape. So just put that above it, and if you see his head's not quite right, so you just need to push it so that it's in shape. All right. And then leave that to dry. So then when it's dry, I'm going to take this one away because I'm going to use that in a moment. So pretend that that one has now dried overnight. Then you put water on there.
It's under your pink thing. You hid it under there.
It's my
water.
brush. My brush.
Your
Oh,
brush.
there it is, yeah. Right, so then you put water on there.
Karen's laughing. She said that's another trip to the supermarket now to go and get her Trex.
Oh, wouldn't be without it. They even do smaller packs now. I think that's a small one actually that I've got there.
Have they started doing smaller packs, have they?
They did, yeah.
Because I've had my Treks forever.
I know. You have to make pastry and stuff, don't you?
Yeah. I know. And I don't make pastry.
Right, so what I'm going to do now, that one's dry. I'm going to place that one on top. Okay. Now because one has dried, it's much easier to see what I'm doing, to slide one directly above the other.
Karen Davis has just come in. So Wendy and Karen, I don't get the message. I'm actually watching it live. So I'm not filming, I am watching it live. Some people are saying they're getting a message saying Facebook is not responding. But I don't know what that's happening to Wendy and Karen, but it's not happening to me. I'm watching it live on my phone.
Right.
I think Facebook does some strange things, but no, our audience is still there, 230 plus.
Right, now if I pick that up, if both layers were soft, that would now be flopping about all over the place and I wouldn't be able to slide the pieces. Just turn it over, make sure there's only one head there.
Karen Davies has joined us. Just a quickie, Sherry's just said, will solid coconut oil work in place of Trex?
I wouldn't use oil because it's too soft.
Right.
That will make your paste go soft.
Yeah.
I haven't used it, so I can't really say yay or nay if I haven't used it, but I personally wouldn't go for that. Right, so by having one dry and one soft, I've been able to make sure that they are both exactly above each other, and then I'll take a cocktail stick and dip it in water. And then I just insert that just underneath.
Does Trex go off?
It'll have a sell-by date, but it's got a long sell-by date.
Yeah. Is it a sell-by or a use-by?
Yeah.
Best before? Because it's only vegetable fat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, you can get away with just one stick, but what can happen, you'll end up with the bride and groom twizzling around on the top. So if you put two sticks in, then it will just hold it, and so you only see that on the soft side. The front, which is that side, you won't see the sticks where the sticks are. So that's would be, try not to do what I've done there and got a bit of water on it. But yeah, it's easy to handle, as I say, if you've got one dry. So that's the same with numbers, letters, large music notes, anything that you want to.
Joan Archives is so happy because she now knows she does hers right. That's how she makes hers.
Yeah. Right, so that's the freestanding figures.
Yeah.
And then I just want to go on to the shed, right?
Yeah. You've got plenty of time, Marion. Keep going.
Have I?
You go as long as you want.
Oh, right.
They're all loving it.
Okay.
They're all loving it, so you know what? You carry on and show them what you want, don't worry.
Okay. All right then. I was just going to show
it
the
could be here
shed.
till midnight.
Tell Jerry.
He's having a sleep on the settee,
Oh, is
don't
he?
worry about him.
You can hear him.
Look, all the love hearts are going up on that one. I'm liking that idea.
Okay, so this then is the shed.
What do you need me to pass you from here? You're just going to cut everything out on this one?
And no, I'm just going to cut one little bit because I just want to show that would be so boring to watch me sort of how it's shed out. But I just want to go over a few little tips and then I'll put it together and then you can see the other things that you can make with
They're
it.
just feeling sorry for Paul John, that's all. They've not, they don't care about you, Mia. They've not heard John say a word tonight. Are you still here, John?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so this is brown flower paste. Now they don't make brown flower paste. I don't know why, but they don't.
Yeah.
I wish they would. So
Cake Style make a brown one, I think.
okay.
There's that top of water.
So I've coloured that one anyway. So I'm rolling this out. I'm not going to cut the whole thing because there are quite a few bits. But it's just a few ideas that I wanted to show you.
And I'll pass you the one you had earlier.
Okay. So this one is the front of the shed, okay? So press firmly. You can always go around it with a knife, but what you want to do is get all the wood effect on there. Yeah? Now if you think, oh, I've missed a little bit, that's not quite deep enough, then just go back over with the cutter, make sure that it's sitting correctly, otherwise you won't get a proper pattern.
Is modelling paste the same as flower paste?
Depends on the manufacturer. Some say modelling paste.
It's the case then, I've got a blend.
Just, I'll have to try it first. I don't really. Okay, so that just makes it a bit deeper. Now, so that's the front and the back, so you'd need to cut two. I'm going to show you a little idea using, I'm just going around like that. Now, if you see this, if I cut across there, yeah, I'm making a square. And that over there, that little flower box over there, I don't know if I can you reach that forward, Carol?
Can I reach up? Yeah, of course I can, I will do.
That little flower box there, I sprayed the back kind of thing, is actually made with that part of the shed. So I cut out 4 of those and the trims, and that makes a little flower box for you to put anything in.
Did you make those little flowers on the top as well?
Yeah, that's actually, they're made with the large Christmas rose.
Right, oh are they?
Yeah, you
How
can do
cool are
loads of
they?
different flowers with them, and I'd love to show you, but
Don't say too much, they will.
But, so that could be a cake inside there, a mini cake.
Yeah.
Or, if you have a milk carton, yeah, put it down, line it with cling film and mix chocolate and Crispies and push it in. Then
Just show them this one.
you can just push that out.
Look at a little Christmas house. This is made with the shed. This little Christmas house. They're great, aren't
So
they?
that would give you the base to exactly the right size to then put your flower pieces
Oh,
around
box
it. Box. Right,
With
so
the nice
that
Christmas.
is the shed
Yeah,
that
Jen.
Carol was showing you, but that's just the front of the shed on the
It's
side
on the
of the
shed.
cake. So you don't
I
have
don't know
to...
which shed to look at, there's that many
I know.
sheds. They're great. And then on the side of the cake, John, is the shed of the house as well. So
Yeah.
if you didn't want to actually make the box, you could actually just put the front on the house.
Yeah, and the windows that I'm going to cut out here, I've cut those out and cut them in half and painted them, so that's the little windows that are on there. And then I've done 1, 2, 3 lines and cut out the little doors. So that's that one on there. Right, so when you cut out these, so I've got that one, I'd put that onto a sponge, 2 of those, put that back in the box. Then you cut out 2 of those, 1 for each side, put those to dry. You'd cut out 2 of these. And then just remove the inner part of the window there and there. You don't need those. And put those to dry. Okay, so you're all with me on this. You're just cutting out all the pieces that you need to make a shed, but those have to be removed. Like so. I'll do one side and then you would just do the same on that side and have 2 of those drying. You need 2 of the, now what do you call them? Is that the apex?
Which one? The apex.
The apex, okay, 2. I never know what things are called.
We've had this conversation now. So. Amazing.
It's when I was making I was doing the horse set between the ears, it's the fluffy bit. I think it's called a forelock, isn't it? Something.
Mane.
No, the mane's on the back. It's the bit between the ears there. That.
Oh.
I think that's a forelock, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Sounded better saying a fluffy bit. Everyone knew what I meant anyway. Okay, so this one, you have to take care that when you are drying them, you see that would be completely out of shape. So you have to make sure that everything is kept in shape. And this one, you would cut out 2. Yeah. I'll only cut out 1 just to show you.
Gillian Samson, the pointy thing is the roof. No, the apex.
Right, so when you lift that onto the sponge to dry, it's so important that it's going to fit the roof of the shed. So just push that up against it, like that. And then you know that that is going to dry in the right shape. That would be on your big piece of sponge that I'm going to show you now. And the other bit, just to save time, I want you to pretend now that that is going to be the roof it would be in green paste. And I use my little stumpy brush there. So I would just mark that up for the felt roof. Makes great grass as well. So then you'd cut out your roof and leave that to dry, so you'd have 2 of those. Right, here's all my bits. Now I'm just going to gather those up because I don't need them. I've got them all here. And for the base, I'm actually just going to use, thanks Carol, I'm just going to use this bit, right, for the base. It's all old paste that I had left. So if you've got a big chunk of paste, the easiest way to make sure that you get the right size, and I'm only going to roll this thin bit out now.
How long do they take to dry?
Overnight.
Says?
Overnight.
Overnight. This is why you've had to pre-make yours, haven't you?
This is why what?
That's why you had to pre-make those.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I made them all. Right. So this would be this thick, right? But then you would take this, I'm just showing you how to get the right size. So you put that on there and press, and that on there and press, and then that on there, and just make sure that fits across. Yeah, that press. And so you do that on top of your thick piece and then cut it out so you've got the right size that you can stick your shed onto. So, are you all with me on that? Yeah?
I'll tell you in a minute.
What? You also get all the little bit of shovel and all sorts there in that set. Put that to one side.
Julie Smith, her Christmas cake is going to have loads on. She's going to have Kerry's gnomes, Christmas trees, and now your shed.
Right, so now earlier when I made that soft icing before, it was white. I also made earlier on before we started.
So let me just ask one question. How long do you leave the pieces to dry if you are putting them on round the cake, just like the front of the shed?
Right.
So like this one here, you've just put the front on, haven't you?
Always, if you're lifting anything, leave it for 10 to 15 minutes to firm up a little bit before you actually lift it. And
so
put
just
it onto
going
the
on
cake.
here, leave it 10 to 15 minutes just to firm up, and then because you can still sort of mould it, can't you?
It's still pliable, but it's nothing's going to go out of shape. It's things like the tree that's there. You would do exactly as I did for the bride and groom. Roll it out, pick all the bits out, slide a piece of cardboard underneath. Now that tree is going to be so floppy that you can't lift it and put it on like the trees on the cake over there. That is, especially if it's in black, it needs to firm up first. So I would leave that tree and that lamppost, which I've cut a little bit shorter because of the height, for about 10-15 minutes until you can lift it and the top bit's holding its shape, it's not
Talking of
flopping out.
lamppost, is there a lamppost cutter in any of the sets?
That lamppost comes in the country set. You get the fence, you get the tree, you get the lamppost, you get another tree.
Yeah. So Thelma, just listen to this again. There's a set called the Country Set Silhouettes. What do they get in that, Marion?
They get 2 trees, this one and a more chunky one.
Yeah.
You get fence, grass, lamppost.
I don't know.
You need to turn it
Turn it
around.
round.
Turn it round. It's all on the back of the.
Yeah, John. Here we go. Oh, wrong page.
Yeah, it's the back of the bride. What is it?
So we've got the bride on one side. Oh, that lamppost is cool, isn't it? So you get 2 trees. So you get the small tree. This is the small tree, I take it.
Yeah.
And is this the big tree?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get the clouds, which you can use clouds, or you can put them on the tree. It's greenery on the bottom one.
So the lamppost, the fencing, the grass, small tree, bigger tree.
Hearts and butterflies.
Hearts and butterflies. And did you say there were some clouds?
There, I'll buy your hand now. They're actually on the cake.
Oh yeah, you put them on the cake.
Tree.
Oh, that's clever, isn't it? Oh, you're clever, you, aren't you? I like it.
I wish.
So this cake is double-sided. So this has got the country scene on this side, and then it's got the country silhouettes on that side, and then it's got the wedding silhouettes on this side. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love this one. This is the family one, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you've got pregnant mummy, daddy, dog, grass, some of the country stuff, and that's the rest of all the kiddies on there.
Yeah, you don't
pushing the
get
pram.
obviously the tree. In
No,
that
the tree
one.
comes
And
in the country
dogs.
ones.
The dogs are in a different set.
Oh yeah, the dogs and the dog
Dog
silhouettes,
set,
aren't
and
they?
they're with the kennel over there.
Yeah. So if you come over here, John, we do the dog silhouettes.
We do a dog silhouette, but I have to say, Karen Davis, the dog models are brilliant with that. They
Yeah.
just sit outside.
So they're the dog silhouettes, and she's used the shed this time for a dog kennel, which is great. I love them, all the little dogs on there.
So you can use them as silhouettes, or you can paint them up, as you can with any of the silhouettes.
So you could keep them all black as silhouettes, or as Marion says, paint them up.
Yeah.
And then use your shed this time, just but make it as a kennel, which is great. And then this is the shed made a bit smaller, so it's not as wide on the sides, and that's used as a birdhouse.
Yeah, so you're using
It's great.
just that part,
Yeah.
that square that you did for the flower pots.
Yeah. And then we've got the actual shed on here for Dad.
And that's what I'm putting together now.
Yeah, it's great.
And you get the
I love the beach
grey
hut.
base one there. Yeah, the
Yeah.
beach hut's good.
The beach hut's great.
But you could do the same thing with the beach hut as I've done with the house here. You could have just
Yeah.
fronts of beach huts all the way
Yeah.
around the side.
Fantastic. And then the country silhouettes she's used in colour here. So that all these cutters are great. And they're not expensive, are they? I
No.
don't think they're expensive at all. I think they're very reasonable.
You get the flowers.
And the clouds in the country ones.
Oh, the flowers come with the owls, yeah.
Yeah. And the owls there. Super.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I've done now, this is the sugar paste, like the white one I made earlier. I've just added some water to it, and I've spread that round the dried base. And then I'm just going to take the front and back and put that on. Now you could do a whole block of the Rice Krispie chocolate and trim it down so that it would be solid, and you could just stick everything onto this solid base.
And the lady who asked about the lamppost is very pleased, so she's buying that one.
Oh, very good.
She wants to buy the country scene, the wedding, the family. She's already got the disco dancers.
Oh, right.
Right.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little bit
Gillian
of...
says she needs a lottery win. No, you don't, Gillian. You get someone to buy you the Sugar and Crumbs vouchers for Christmas.
Oh, yeah. Right, so what I'm going to do just quickly, I'm just going to put a little bit of our black
Helen
and
Mills says
silver.
stop showing us everything because she wants all of them. Julie Smith says the same. Julie Smith so far is having Christmas trees, gnomes, a shed, your Christmas rose, your big rose, all on a Christmas cake. She's going mad.
Right, so I'm just going to put a little bit of, well, I would normally put silver on that, but just for time-wise I won't, but silver over the little bit of black there, right? And then I'm going to put some of this into a little piping bag.
So Michelle Quinn, all the prices for the cutters are actually on our website, www.sugarandcrumbs.co.uk. You just drop down to brands, Patchwork Cutters, and all the prices are there. They're very, very reasonable. We've got the link on the website. We'll go through them all with you afterwards. Gillian Sanson's husband's having a nervous breakdown. Karen Griffiths, it says her husband's starting to sweat because he can hear what she says she wants. Sarah Fairhurst, what brand of cutters are these as I've come to watch halfway through? Sarah, these are the Patchwork Cutters, and this is Marion Frost who owns the company and designs all these cutters.
That paper bag just slipped a little bit, so I'll just make it look more. So left, right, fold it over, fold it down so you've got a good pad to push against. Never overfill your bag. And then I'm just looking for some scissors now. In amongst it,
I can't help you. I don't know where anything is anymore.
I know. So I'm just going to pipe a little line there, and then I'm taking these.
There. We need to set up an S&C savings club. £30
Oh,
direct debit, so then they can go mad.
That's it. I should have piped on there. Yeah.
John's nodding his head to that one, Karen.
That's a good
likes that.
idea. Yeah. Oh, right, I'll pipe a little bit on the back here. Now what you can do And what I would normally do is put these on while they're still soft. These little
Rena's
windows.
saying that she was hopeless with your cutters, but now she knows where she's gone wrong.
Well,
and she's so pleased that you're on tonight.
Oh, that's brilliant.
That's good. That you know, when somebody's the worst thing you can have is somebody when it's your own product and they don't know how to use it. It makes you quite sad, isn't it?
Yeah.
So it's nice when you know that they've watched it and they finally get what it is that you're doing.
Yeah, because it's usually just one little thing, like not lifting the paste or using Trex, not corn flour or anything like that. Right, so just pipe a little bit on there.
Poor Pam's had to walk to work today because of the snow.
Oh.
And just spent an hour digging off a drive, so she's just joined us.
Right, so I'm just going to pop that on there. And I'll pop this one on the side.
I think you've started now, Karen. You're all on about the club. I'll have John going on at me tomorrow. I think that's a good idea.
Brilliant. Right, so then just to fill in the gaps, you've got your main shape together, and then you'll have cut out about 12. You get in there, you get these little strip cutters, which are great for if you ever need any little trims or anything. So you just put 2 on each corner, and that just tidies the whole thing up. So if you do have any little gaps, I'm sorry guys, I feel as though I'm keeping you wait.
No, don't worry about it.
But I can't go off with a shed half built.
No. You've got antlers and all sorts of things, do you?
Oh, God.
Owl's eyes.
Owl's eyes.
Your gerber eye, your owl's eyes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
You've got to make those.
Yeah.
Your stag, what else have you got to do?
I haven't got a gerber with me. Right, so you put so little gaps like that, you can just fill in and tidy them up. So don't be worried that this doesn't, you've got to try and keep it as in shape as possible before they dry.
They're saying it's fabulous, Marion. Keep going. Don't worry. Listen, they're all very lucky to have you, Marion. Every Monday, I've got to give our audience they do know that you guys are coming along, putting a lot of time and effort. They're sat in this comfort of their own homes with a cup of tea, bursting for a wee. But you can all sit cross-legged and wait a bit longer.
Right, okay, so that's the side bits, like so. Okay, and then I'm going to pipe.
I mentioned that owl cake now, they're going to say, don't stop now, I've got an owl cake to make.
Oh, that does take a long time.
We can show them how to do the eyes.
I haven't got a gerber. I only brought it to show because I'm doing classes on those, aren't I? Online classes.
Yeah.
And he's one of them.
Oh right, well good, we'll mention that.
And the flower on the side is the Christmas rose that I've just done before.
And those of you who need a cuppa, walk with your phone and your computer to the kettle. Julie Smith sorted it out. She takes her phone with me to make a brew.
Now, just to make sure that sort of sticks together, I've got some green paste. I haven't got the right colour. I think I've left it out, haven't I? Oh yeah, on dry. Okay, so I'm just going to cut. It's once you cut the things out, it's quite a doddle to do. I would say if you're going to do the beach hut, when you paint the line, it's like every other one. You'd paint blue or whatever colour you're going to do. Always start each piece at the bottom of the base, because it's easily done to actually do the wrong line, and then when you're looking at the whole thing, you've got blue going around, it suddenly goes up, and you want the line to sort of follow.
Yeah.
So I'm just using this that I use for the roof. Move it down.
Pat Epps Winrow said you did workshops in Ormskirk many years ago, and she's still buying your cutters.
Oh, Pat. Yeah. Lovely. Oh.
And she uses them all the time. Well done, Pat.
Yeah. She always keeps in touch on our Facebook.
You know Pat Epps?
Yeah.
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 It's an unusual name. I met her at the Cake and Bake Show
okay.
in Manchester with her husband. Yeah.
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 Yeah. She asked if we were going to Manchester one, but we didn't get there.
No, I had a lovely chat with her.
Oh, she is lovely. So that just holds that the two roof pieces together.
Yeah, Pam's nipped upstairs and got in bed with her laptop.
Those are just spares. You can go around the door if you wanted to have the door open with those. And then these little
It's a
bits.
pleasure of being mobile. You can carry your laptop and your iPad
Yeah.
and everything with you now, can't you?
Yeah.
Anne Crofts is in bed with hers. I'm surprised Gillian's not in the bath. She's usually somewhere with her iPad.
So you can see on there, I've attached that, and you can see how important it is to dry them in the right shape, otherwise it just wouldn't fit in there.
Yeah.
Then this bit goes on. And the one I haven't brought is the grotto. I made this with Santa Please Stop Here sign.
Oh, did you?
With two singing snowmen outside and a dog howling.
Yeah.
That sort of side one there.
You can
just
send us a
needs-
picture over tomorrow. I'll post it.
Oh, okay.
Helen Price says, what are you using to attach the pieces with?
I'm using sugar paste
Yeah.
with water added to it.
So they are
So that
Helen's.
it's quite thick. See, it's
Yeah.
creamy. It's
So
not
all
runny.
that is broken up sugar paste and water added to it and mushed down.
Just do that, keep going until it's nice and smooth, but it's holding its shape. If it's shiny and runs flat, then you need to add some more sugar paste to it. But sugar paste, not flour paste. So those are the two little things that go on the end.
Flour paste for the models,
Yeah.
sugar paste for the glue.
Yeah. Right, and then the door, I've used that to cut out a black door, and I've put the back of it without any pattern on there, on the full one over there. And so then you could have that open, so you'd have a black one there, and then edge it with some more of these.
Right,
So if you have a look at that one over there, you can see
Elaine
that.
Wilson says, if you wanted to have the door open, how would you secure it?
Right. You roll out a piece, I'll tell you what, I'll show you.
Wendy's just saying, never mind her legs are crossed. Her pooch has all four legs crossed. Wendy, her dog. So Wendy says she's got her legs crossed and the dog's got all four crossed. They're hanging on. Hang on, Wendy.
Hang on, nearly
Yeah.
there now. Apart from all the
Don't
other
worry.
things. that's
Wendy's got a husband, Dave. He can take her out.
Okay, so I'm just going to cut out the door in black paste so it appears to be.
Sarah's just ordered the country scene and the reindeer antlers. Can you use royal icing to glue the parts?
Yeah,
Yeah, you can
yeah,
do.
absolutely.
Just cover it, can't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you haven't got any on the go and you've got sugar paste on the go, then that's why I use
Yeah.
that. Right, so you get the door cutter.
I wonder how many ladies have put their iPads to the loom with them.
And just it's a vision, isn't it?
What are you looking for now?
I was looking for my little door, but it's okay. I'll just cut out a shape. I'll cut it around that one. But I would just use the door cutter to cut that out.
Oh, Sarah's been having a good time. She's ordered the country scene, the reindeer, the antlers, the reindeer antlers, and she's ordered the shed as well.
Oh, you're going to be busy. Okay. Just great for allotments, aren't they? And,
Yeah, they're great.
Jerry's got a man shed.
Do you know what? You know when you said make a shed, I tell you what I've really liked about it, all the ideas, because I would have only thought of a shed.
Have a shed, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so just to give the appearance of an inside there.
I've got one lady, Lindsay McIver, she's admitted she's took the phone to the toilet, kitchen, makeup room, and she's not missed anything. Good girl, Lindsay, just like me, I would do that. I like it.
Okay, so I'm just going to put a little.
Do you do alphabet cutters as well?
Oh yeah, we do
Oh, right.
loads of alphabet
Right.
cutters.
Have you got any videos of those? Because Nesta Williams is struggling with them.
Is she?
Yeah.
With the patchwork ones?
Nesta, are you struggling with the patchwork alphabet cutters? We'll wait for a response.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit different. Just ordered some lovely things for Xmas presents. Thanks for all these ideas. Yeah, Lynn Peters, she's just ordered the countryside, stag, quilter cutters, as well as other things. Nesta, yes, it's the patchwork cutters.
Right, okay. Are they individual cutters or are they on a block?
We'll wait for the answer.
I have got online tutorial on that, but
So Nesta, Marion does have an online tutorial. So if you message me afterwards or tomorrow, I'll get hold of Marion and we'll get the link for you. Is it a paid tutorial or a free tutorial?
free.
It's a free tutorial.
They're always free. The only ones that are going to be paid for are the ones that we don't use patchwork cutters for.
Oh, right, okay.
The
fair
ones
enough.
that I go.
So all the patchwork cutters, if it's a patchwork cutter, they're all free tutorials. That's good.
Okay, so I've just used a little bit of the softened paste to attach the door.
Have you done the door open especially for Elaine Lawson there?
Yeah.
Well done there, Elaine. That was done especially for you. She'll be well chuffed. Aye.
Okay, so obviously if it's going to be for say a grotto, then the roof would be done in white paste,
Yeah.
and then you can pipe little bits of white around the windows and on the effects and stuff
I
like
have
that.
to say that's a brilliant. So guys, what do we think of the shed? How cool is that? Elaine Lawson, she loves the shed with the open door. Thank you.
You're welcome.
PJ Michelle Hearn, awesome job. She's watching from America. They're all loving it. That's
Excellent.
great. Let Marion know how well she's done there. So Marion, is that shed finished now?
Yes, it is.
Right. Do you need to clean your hands before you do anything else?
Yes,
Are you
I do.
showing anything else?
I'm just going to.
Brilliant.
Well, I can explain about the eyes and things, but I haven't
Yeah.
got the cutters with me.
Okay,
so
no
if you
worries.
want me to,
Yeah,
that's
we'll do
that's sort of-
So if John just wants to have a quick look at what we've done so far, and then should we just stop for 10 minutes and do catch up?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So,
That's correct.
John, do you want to have a quick walk around what we've been doing so far? Have a little tidy up here.
Yeah.
So, let's just go through. You can wash your hands over there, Marion. if you want to.
Okay.
So, Marion's explained to you how to use the sugar paste. You've got to roll it very thin, and it's not sugar paste, it's flour paste. Okay, and that's very important that you roll it very, very thin. And the cutters that she's got here are the bunnies. So these are great, what she's got here on the website, on this cake. Clouds from the countryside scene. She put these on plaques. This is a reindeer. These reindeers, aren't they?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's lovely for a baby cake, isn't
Yeah.
it? For a
Yeah.
winter, for a
They're in
baby.
the stag set.
Yeah, they're in the stag set.
The new
Fantastic.
set, the
Do you
new
want to
stag
tell them
set.
again?
Yeah.
It would be better telling them all.
Right. Okay. So these are from the stag set. The bunnies, just showing you about bending the ears over, or using the same size pattern to make a little nappy for a baby one. If it's a first Christmas, you could put little Christmas hats on, something like that. These are the trees from the countryside set. The big stags there.
I like how you've done that. So have you done that very similar to how you did the bride and groom?
Yes.
So you just let it go hard and then sort of,
And just push it on.
yeah, instead of
Yeah.
pushing it all on like
You
that
can
one.
leave it
Leave it stuck
dry.
out. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
And I love this. This is great.
This one is so easy to do because you get the different sized
Yeah.
antlers.
So there's 4 sizes of antlers in
Yeah,
there,
there's one
isn't there?
missing because we had a
Yeah.
little bit of an accident. And these are, the eyes are cut out used in the end of a Pritt stick.
Oh yeah.
And the black part is the end of the piping nozzle.
Right.
And then the white part, the little
To be
highlight.
fair, they're big enough for my nifty nozzles they could cut out the eyes with.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
At the end, the other
perfect.
side, yes,
Yeah,
perfect.
the large
It's
end.
exactly the same size.
And then the little white bit is the size for piping nozzle. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Super.
And this part here, you make a circle, flatten it slightly, get a rolling pin and stick it in and then cut it in half. So that's half a circle for the mouth.
Fantastic.
Right.
Good. And then this here.
Owls, those are the 2 small owls. The larger ones are at the back on here.
Oh, really
Got a bit
pretty, I love
flashed.
them.
And yeah, so just
Yeah.
2 size owls, you get flowers, leaves,
Yeah.
a branch, all sorts in there.
And do you want to just turn around, John, what we've been doing here? So we've got the family silhouettes here. So these have got children in, mummy picking up a baby, daddy, pregnant mummy. Lots of them in there, isn't there? Sitting on the bench, is that in the family silhouettes as well?
Yeah.
Yep, and then in the country silhouettes you get the lamppost, you get the fence, you get the grass, you get 2 trees in there. And then there's the wedding silhouettes.
You also you get the, I think you get the butterflies in with the countryside
Yeah.
as well.
Super. And I take it, do you get these notes in with the wedding one?
No, I just drew those on.
You just draw them on? You're clever, you are, aren't you?
Jerry's a musician.
Yeah. Right. And then this is what Marion used for the quilter set. Okay. And then she made this rose. Which did you make the rose with? Was it the
large Christmas rose?
The large Christmas rose.
For that one and that one.
Yeah.
And actually for the cyclamen in there.
Right.
I used that.
So the large Christmas rose, you made that rose.
Yeah.
This larger Christmas rose, the smaller Christmas rose.
No, the large Christmas rose, I made that one and that one.
Yeah.
That one's out of the Grandi floral rose.
Right, I see.
Rose.
Yeah. And what did you make them with?
A large Christmas rose.
Large Christmas rose.
Are
And this one's still
are
drying.
the bunnies on the website?
They are, yeah. Yeah, everything's on the website.
Rena's just said there was no link, but we'll sort that out afterwards.
It's on the Facebook page. If you go to our Facebook page, on the top of our podcast tonight, it'll tell you it's there. There you go. Informers. We didn't get to use them, did we?
I've used the smaller ones for the drying the rose in.
Okay, yeah.
This one, the large rose.
And all these sets, guys, they're pretty reasonable. So £8.50. So like make a shed set is at £8.50 for this one. The owl set £8.50. The wedding silhouette's £8.50. The snowflake £6.50. Stag £6. The antlers £6. Quilting embosser £4. So you know they're really reasonable. I don't think they're expensive at all. £4.50 for the festive forest scene. Country silhouettes is £8. So I won't shout them all out. They're all on the website there. Yeah.
The festive forest, that's what I've put the
And then if we come over here for the sheds.
So the festive forest, you can the picture that's on there I've done in white and lilac. But you can also paint them.
Like
so
that.
you can use
They
them.
look lovely, don't they?
So you just
Very
paint
nice.
in stripes of little lines there.
They're lovely.
So that's the festive forest.
Fantastic. And John, do you want to just look at the owl? There we go. Sorry.
My little owl, my gerbera eyes. That's out of the gerbera set.
So Susan Loris says, loved every bit tonight. A very talented lady.
Oh.
Pam Carrick, yet another fabulous tutorial. Well done, and thank you to all, including John, for a great night's filming.
Indeed.
Oh well, John, look
Thank
at
you,
you.
John.
You're very welcome.
A little fan club.
You sat there and done that all night. Right, guys. What was that lovely gesture there you did, John? Anyhow, so guys, we know it's been a long night. We really appreciate you coming and watching us tonight. I do want you to give Marion a massive big round of applause. Let her know your appreciation. Pop on the site, buy her cutters. She'll absolutely love it. She'll love it if she does a sellout tonight. Don't forget you can buy your Christmas vouchers as well. Give all the family, tell them this is what you want, vouchers, so that you can buy things off the Sugar and Crumbs website. And what it is, it's 10:10 now. So I'm going to give you 20 minutes, 10:30. I'm going to make Marion's husband a drink. We're going to have a quick tidy up, and then we're going to come back for 10 minutes of catch up, so you can ask all your questions then for everybody who missed it. So thank you very much for joining us. And if you don't catch us on catch up, don't forget next week we've got Valerie and Christina from the Queen of Couture Cakes. Amazing girls.
Fabulous. Yeah.
So that's going to be the grand finale for Christmas. That's our last show up until after Christmas, and then you've got me all of February, all of January, unless I can drag anyone back. So, so hi everybody. So pop up, let me know that you're here. Marion's been working very, very hard. So I hope you've enjoyed her in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen this evening. So we've got one viewer. It always takes 30 seconds, Marion, before we realise, so they can see us a lot sooner.
Okay.
So it's building nicely. So hi Selma, hi Julie Smith. It's Julie who's going to put everything on her cake. She's going to go crazy.
Right.
So she's having a shed, a Christmas tree, a fern tree, a gnome.
I hope you send me a photo. I really need to see this cake.
I know. She sends me pictures of her cakes, Julie. I'm looking forward to this one.
Okay. Come on.
Hi Sue. Hi Emily. So what we're going to do now is Maria's gone home, and I'm going to let you ask Marion questions. So we'll have a couple of questions for a few minutes, and then Marion is very kindly offered to do a smaller version.
Well, he's lost his antlers now. I've had to pinch them off him.
Right. Oh, he's lost his antlers.
He has.
I hadn't noticed.
You'll have to get
Right.
a little one.
I'll have to
from
get
there.
a little one. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, you're clever. Yeah, I hadn't even noticed that. So let me just see.
I did have 2 dry, but I dropped one, so you know.
So guys, so Marion has agreed that she'll make this for you. How exciting. I tell you, we make these guests work. Eh? You lot are sat at home on your settee, you're having a brew, cross-legged. The dog can't go out, but don't worry, we make these girls work hard when they come here in the Sugar and Crumbs kitchen. So what we'll do is let's find out what questions you want. So let me just have a look. I'm not very good here. So let me just see. Let me just go back. So it's Julie. Do you know what? I'm going to look on my phone. Sorry guys, you know I'm useless with this. So Karen Naylor's watching, Anne, Elaine, Sue, hello, Emily. Questions? Selma, thank you for all your amazing tips and help. Thank you, Gillian. Hiya. Elaine Lawton, I am still alive with my germs. Oh, bless. I know, hasn't it been awful? Everybody's got cold. But I've loved the snow this weekend. I was worried that you might not make it. Because I've been in Ireland.
Yeah.
And it said Ireland, Liverpool, Manchester was going to get the worst of it. And we did all right, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
So Lizzie Jennifer, hi Carol. Sorry I missed you tonight. I'll be here to watch catch up. Thank you, Lizzie. Come and join us. And you can watch it all on YouTube tomorrow. Hi, Karen. So has anybody got any questions? Hi, guys. Loved you. Fantastic.
Great.
That's Laurent.
Thank
Melanie. Julie, she's put her order in for the cutters. She's been naughty. We're looking forward to your cake, Julie Smith, let me tell you. So, I think it'll have a bit of a session. I think it'll have a bit from every session of Facebook Live. Angela, I missed a bit about the tried. I missed a bit about tried and buttercream. What was that about, please? I missed the bit about
Tired
and buttercream. Don't know. We'll have to go back over it. The only thing I've mentioned about buttercream tonight is Valerie and Christina coming, I think. Don't know, Angela. I'll have to go back. So Iris is shutting. Iris Shutterworth is watching. Louise, I bought the snowman and Santa cutters. Can I do them in advance or due to go in on the side of the cake? Need to make them and stick them on straight away. Does that make
well,
sense?
obviously if it's a square cake, no problem. If it's a round cake, you may have, they're only small, so you may have a little sort of gap both sides when you put them on, which it doesn't look odd. You can actually, some people put little balls of icing behind them to make them stand away from the cake, so you get a more three-dimensional.
I was going to say they'll stand away.
If you put some trees actually on the cake and then put your little figures in front with some little balls of icing, then that could work. That's a good.
If she makes them in advance, they'll end up standing up like this, won't they? Don't know whether you can see that.
Yeah, so the trees are sort of standing away from it. But the Santa Snowman set, they're quite small figures anyway. Yeah. So you wouldn't get much of a gap.
Oh, right, okay, well that's good then, isn't it?
So yeah, make them beforehand and pop them on.
Yep, super. Can you see any more questions pop up there? Just 1 second. No. It's really weird, isn't it, peering in there?
Yeah.
So, let's see. So Selma, super proud of Karen and the team, a guest for doing their lives every week. Thanks, Selma. For almost a year now.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Marion, that's a lovely gesture. Irish Shutterworth just joined you. Sue Pinnock.
Hi, Sue.
Sue can't think of any questions. Don't worry, Sue. When you're here, they'll have plenty to ask.
I'll think of some.
Marion, you were a natural. Well done for your first live.
Oh, thank you.
Well done, everybody. So let's see what else we've got here. Marion, can Marion come back and show us how to make that lovely owl cake? Well, she can't because you're going to do a tutorial on it, aren't you?
That's going to be one of our new tutorials.
Yeah.
We're starting a whole, in the new year.
Yeah. What I've done is I've put the link to Marion's website and there's tutorials there for all the patchwork cutters. Now, if it's Patchwork Cutters, they're free tutorials. If Marion is having to use other things that are not, you know, not all Patchwork Cutters, then she's doing that as a charge tutorial, and the owl one is one of those,
It's
isn't
like
it?
it's like a class really. So
Yeah.
you'd be coming for a class,
Yeah.
or you'd be buying it for a class.
Yeah.
But
Do you know
the-
when that's going to be live, that class?
No. It'll be sooner than the book.
How long's the book been in the making
The
now?
first one is going to be. I'm not there. The first one's going to be the toy box, because somebody has asked me, who couldn't come to the class at Renshaw's, and they've asked me to do the toy box as a tutorial. So that's going to be the first one. The
Yeah,
owl
very
will be. The owl will, when that does come out, will be sitting on a stack of books.
Oh, that'd be good, wouldn't it?
Graduation. Yeah.
Fantastic. Right, Sue Pinnock, they were talking about using Trex in buttercream. Yes, well, we've missed that conversation, haven't we?
Yes.
Sue says they were talking. Well, I don't remember that conversation, Sue, but yes, can you use Trex in buttercream? Yes, you can, can't you?
You can, yes, it's a
Can you use
vegetable
it as-
fat, but
Can you use it instead of butter?
yeah, you do definitely need your lovely icing sugars to flavour that one though, because
It's really weird though, isn't it?
yeah.
Because the cakes that are made in shops is made with Trex, isn't it?
Yes,
The buttercream
yeah,
though. That's how they get very, very white
the
buttercream.
shortening, yeah,
But I can't bring myself to
No,
use it.
it's very-
Which is mad, isn't it?
on the roof of your mouth I
Yeah,
find, but
yeah.
yeah.
Right, Karen Naylor, will vodka stick the silhouettes to the sides of a cake, or would I need something a bit stronger like edible glue?
Right, silhouettes will stick to the side of the cake with water.
Yeah,
Vodka dries too quickly,
yeah.
and it's like isopropyl alcohol, ethanol. I wouldn't use that either. So I just use water for all my sticking.
For all your sticking.
Yeah, if things are dried, then I don't use vodka or anything like that. I let down some of the sugar paste so that it's very soft, and I attach things with that. But I don't really use alcohol.
You can tell that's a sugar crafter way of doing things, isn't it? The more modern way now, we all use edible glue, but going back to the Sugar Crafting Guild and all the ladies from there, that's what they do. They let down the sugar paste, isn't it?
Yeah.
You see, we've all gone to this glue in a tube.
You see, the glue is fine, but if you add too much, things slide down
Yeah.
cakes, or they slide across, they move around. Whereas if you've got softened sugar paste as a glue, it sticks, it catches, it stays there, and it won't slide all over.
Move. And the vodka is used for milk
With ice.
with your dust.
And lemon.
Yeah, the vodka is used for making your dust into paints.
Yes.
So that's what you use that for, or you can use lemon if you are not allowed to drink
Lemon
alcohol.
extract.
Yeah.
The thing with that vodka,
Yeah.
with that alcohol, it dries very, very quickly because it's pure alcohol.
Yeah.
So you can paint one colour next to the other without it running, and that's why we use the isopropyl alcohol.
Yeah. But then you can use lemon juice if you can't have vodka.
Yeah.
Right, Jane Lever. Firstly, really enjoyed tonight. When you put the stencils around the cake, do you just make one shape and wait for it to dry for about 10 minutes, or put two together, as in the case of the stand-up figures?
When I'm putting them around the cake,
Yeah, so if you were putting all those
the cut-out pieces, yeah. If I'm putting them around the cake, yeah. If you've got a lot, I would cut out as you go, then go back to the first ones that you cut out. They need at least 10 to 15 minutes just to firm up, and especially if you're working with the black paste, because you've got no room for mistakes. You can't slide it because you'll make a mess on the cake. It's difficult to wipe away, then you'll get a shiny patch where you have wiped it away. So make sure you're putting them where they're going to stay, and just 10 to 15 minutes is enough to handle them. I'm just looking now to see if I've got anything that I've cut out earlier, but just 10 to 15 minutes will make life so much easier for you to be able to lift those bits.
Well, they hardened very quickly, didn't they?
Yes, they did.
Mm.
Yeah,
Good.
well, we had one hard and the back was soft,
Yeah.
but yeah, it
So-
just needs that little bit of time. Don't try anything that's flopping about. It's going to be really difficult to attach onto the side of a cake. So just let it firm up first.
So Angela Louise Caulfield says, Trex and buttercream, some people were talking about using half and half. Thought I'd missed something. No, you can use half and half.
Yeah,
So you can use just Trex, just butter, or half and half. That's absolutely fine to make buttercream. And in fact, I think that's how the Queen of Couture girls make their buttercream.
yeah.
Half Trex, half butter. Chris Gill, are they full instructions in the stencil sets if we can't remember what to do?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, there are. And also the tutorials on our website. We have lots of tutorials, and one technique will apply to other cutters. So if you've got, say you're doing a stencil or a silhouette for one cake, then the same technique. Really, for patchwork cutters, you've just got to think, use a firm paste, which is the flower paste, and we recommend the Renshaw one, because that's all I've used. You roll out on tracks, roll, don't lift the paste, roll it thin, and the smaller the cutter, the thinner the paste should be. And especially, a lady before asked me about the alphabets. Roll your paste really thin and put plenty of tracks on your alphabet and on your letter and cut out. But it's the same, follow those techniques, those rules, and then
you won't go wrong.
You won't go wrong. No.
So, Susan Lawrence. Susan Lawrence, hi hun, is it gum paste you use for the shed or something stronger? No, it was Renshaw flower modelling paste. And you can buy that off our website, Susan. I think, I can't remember what price that was actually. But it's on our website, and you can buy that. Okay. Kelly Taylor, thank you for tonight. Just placed my order and looking forward to the shed. Iris, brilliant, fantastic, amazing. Not enough words to describe tonight.
Oh, how lovely.
That's good, isn't it?
Oh, thank you.
Right, let's see what else. Anne Gallagher, do you still do the Patchwork Cutters books? Glad you mentioned the books. Let me see.
Yeah, we don't have a new patchwork cutter book out. I am working on a flower one, because as you saw tonight, you can use the one cutter to make lots of different flowers.
So, Marion has very kindly agreed to give every one of you a free book. So all of you who order Patchwork Cutters off the website tonight will get this in the book, either this one or another volume. We don't know which one they are, they'll be random, because she's sending over a whole load of books tomorrow, so your orders won't get dispatched tomorrow. If you want the book, you'll have to wait till Wednesday, so don't pick next day unless you want Thursday delivery. But everybody who can wait, they'll get one of these in their order, free of Marion. That deserves a round of applause, doesn't it? Only if you buy Patchwork Cutters though. So, and everything else off Sugar and Crumbs website.
Yeah.
So, so you get one of those free. Right, okay. Julie Smith, you will have to let us know when Marion is on live, Carol. When Marion's on live again, yes. Well, she's agreed to come back. That's a bonus.
Yeah,
does Marion have a website that will tell you about her tutorials? Yes, I put the link up. I'm looking forward to meeting Marion and co at the weekend at Inglewood Manor in February. I can't wait. Pam, are you? I don't know which one you're going to. You've got a couple in February, haven't you?
You're doing in February.
Is it just one session in February?
No, the double session sold out.
Right.
The weekend are sold out,
right.
And we're on our single
We're
day.
on a single. Yeah. I'm on the 25th of February.
Yes.
Just me and Marion on our own.
Yes.
There you go. So anybody who wants to come to that, it's £68 for the day. Elaine Lawton, I find the glue makes too much. I find the glue makes too much. Not sure what that is, Elaine. Let's carry on there. Too many marks. That's what she meant. She finished it off. Yeah.
You can get a shiny effect if you can see it when it's
Gillian
dry.
says, do you need a helper? Sure, come. Thank you for tonight. Learned so much. We'll be buying more Patchwork Cutters. Great.
Yes,
if you buy them off our website, you get one of these free until we run out. Okay, and Marion's sending a big box over. Just placed an order for a few cutters. Thanks, Karen. Oh my God, just on now. Love, 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 love my Patchwork Cutters. Very nice. Right, so let's get on with this demo. So let me just see if there's any more questions there. Elaine Wall, not tried sugar paste glue, but will in the future. I have come home from work and not moved from the kitchen. I've been amazed. Thank you. Have a safe trip home. We have no snow here in Poole, Dorset. We've had loads of snow. I've just got back from Ireland. I tell you, it was really thick there. I was amazed that your goods are cheaper than Amazon. Very good. Thank you so much, Marianne. That's so kind of you. For a free book.
Welcome.
Gillian, Karen Griffiths. So, Karen, thanks for the tips on the letter stencils. I made a hash of some at the weekend and ended up abandoning them. Need to use flour paste instead of fondant mixed with Tylo.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
Karen.
Yeah.
Julie Smith, yes please. And Carol, thank you, Marion. I think this is all for the book. I'm doing a weekend that's sold out. Oh, I won't see you, Pat. Just ordered cutters. Sue Pinnock off to bed. Elaine Lawton, we never get snow. She's in the Isle of Wight. Julie Smith, got to go. My battery's about to go. No worries, Julie, but catch up tomorrow because Marion's going to do the antlers. So, guys, just let me focus the camera down on here now onto Marion. And let's see if you can see what she is doing there. Can you see that, guys? Let me just move everything in. So we've got a spare antler here. Pardon?
I got the antler cutters there.
Are they in there?
There they are, yeah.
So just a minute, guys, because I'm just going to have to get my camera out. Can you see that? Okay.
I'm going to be working on here.
Oh, you're going to work on here, right? Right, okay. So let's just get you...
Well, it doesn't...
Do you want to get set up there?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let me see if we can see that green thing. Are we there? No, we can't see that.
No, do you want to
just see?
It's just that I need to roll out on there.
Yeah, if we can lift up. Just a minute, guys. Let's just get set up while we do this. So we need it that high. What can I use to do it that high?
What about putting it there so it will be along? Oh right, okay.
Yeah, if you lift that up.
Oh right.
And I lift this up. Do you think you could rub? Okay. On there. What do we need to stop it sticking? Have you got another one of those? In fact, yeah, here we go. Here it
Is the one there?
There we go.
Okay, we'll just pop it under the tin. That's it.
Sorry guys, we're just getting set up
That's
because
fine.
I need to
I'll just work it
film
here.
and let me see if I can just lift this up a minute. Ooh, what we have to do to get this sorted out. Hang on a second. What can I do here? 1 minute guys, give me a minute. I'm trying to find something I can sit the iPad on. I don't know if I need to be higher or lower. Right, let me just see. 1 minute guys, let me just see if I can get you all sorted out. Stay with me. Because I want to get Marion to do this demo for you, but I've got to film it for Maria, and I can't do this as well. So let me just have a look. 1 second.
Oh, you're right.
That's okay. Have we gone too high again then?
Yeah.
We've gone too high. Right, do you want to just pull that out? Sorry.
No, it's all right.
I think we're just going to have to manage.
Yeah.
Somehow.
We'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll get the
I think
Where am I?
can't get you further in than that.
That's it. That's fine. That's
That'd be
fine.
okay.
Yeah, just work. See where I'm working.
Right, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to use
Just
a
hang on a
little.
minute. Let me get my video on. Right, I'm ready to go when you are.
Okay, so I've just rubbed a little bit of Trex on the board, and I'm going to roll out. This is just to cut out a couple of antlers. So roll out the flour paste and don't lift the paste up and down. Leave it stuck down on the board. Now I've had to pinch 2 of the antlers from the other cake because I had a slight accident with some that I already had prepared. Right, roll out nice and thin. So as I say, you get different sizes. So quite handy, the smallest ones are handy for models. So next week I'll be putting on a picture of one that I'm going to be doing at a workshop on, or a demonstration day on Sunday, and I'm using these little ones to go in the top of the model. So you can use them for models as well.
Okay. Yeah.
They're all the same. So we have large, medium, and small. So I'm going to cut out.
And any of you placed an order and you didn't order the antlers, just send me a message and I can add it to your order. We'll give you a call.
Okay, so I'm just going to, you get one size of each, not 2, because you can just turn them one over, so you've got a mirror image. And you press firmly, let me just see if I can move that back a bit, just press firmly over the antler. Now it's open-ended, which means that you can cut down and extend it if you wanted a longer one to push into a cake. Right, so just find my little knife. I sort of tied it up, didn't I?
Yeah, you did so.
That's it. Right, okay. So I'm just going to cut across the base of the antler and then pull the paste away. And then just your fine knife underneath.
It's great, that knife.
It
I
is.
love
It's
it.
absolutely brilliant. I'd be lost without it. And just place that onto a sponge pad and then cut a second one. And the second one you turn over. Hang on, let me just get rid of that. So you would turn that over so you would have a mirror image like these two here. These are a bit short now, but they snap when I pull them out. But you've got a mirror image, so you only needed one cutter for each size. Right, so to actually make the face of the... I don't know how to drop this down a little bit, you know.
Yeah, do you want to drop it down? Will it work
Yeah,
that way?
because I think it'll see more. Maybe not, but we'll give it a try. Because I'm working on top of this. Oh no.
Oh, can't see nothing, can I?
No.
No.
Okay, I'll do that.
Comes back the tin. And another tin.
Okay, let's see. I'll lift it up as I go.
Yeah.
So
that's what
you're
you have to
going
do.
to say that that's a little cake, okay? Now I'm going to take a piece of brown sugar paste now. I'm just working with sugar paste.
You're going to work in reverse so that they can see that
I'm
way.
going to work I'll put the face here. I'll turn it up. So it's a ball of sugar paste and just roll it so it's nice and smooth. And then leave it in one hand and just press down with the palm of the other and press it round so you've got a nice flat base. And that's going to go not quite to the end there. You're going to leave a space for a mouth here. Alright. And then with a Dresden tool, just going to lift that up a minute. With a Dresden tool, I'm just going to mark right up the centre, like that. I don't know if that's perfectly central. And then just mark on a few little
Whisker holes.
whisker holes, yeah, whisker holes on the side. Right, now for the mouth, take a piece of paste. Like so. And then I'm going to use my rolling pin. So let me just get this into shot. And press that in. And then just wobble it round, just to create a dip. Put that in half. Okay. And then that's going to go there. So
Wow.
it makes the base of the mouth. All right?
How cool is that?
So if you're working on two at a time, you've got your other mouth there. We'll just put that to one side.
It's easy when you know how, isn't it?
Yeah. It saves a lot of messing about, doesn't it? Right, now I haven't got pinks. Oh, I have got pinks somewhere. haven't I? Pink paste. Where have I put that?
Here, you had it in a bag somewhere.
I do. Oh, there's it. Okay, so it's going to have a little tongue. So just take a piece of pink paste.
My phone's not in the way of the iPad, is it?
No, not at all. Where's that from? So into a cone and then press it down, and then you can mark a little line in the centre if you want that, and then you can have a little tongue wherever you want that to be. Okay. And then here, just make a little dip, and we're going to put a piece of red because it's Rudolph. And some water. So you make the nose as large as you like. And if you want a shiny one, then again, like I did with the holly, just take a little bit of Trex and rub that over the nose, so that'll make a shiny nose. So I'll just lift that up so you can see what I've done. So that's where,
Oops.
that's where we're up to.
Are you liking it, girls? Look, we're trying really hard, the two of us here.
Right, so then
Are
I'm
you
going to...
liking it? What are they saying? Are they loving it? Come on, show your appreciation, everyone. She's working hard, is Marion. Nearly 11 o'clock at night. I'm still keeping the poor girl working.
So I'll have a lie-in tomorrow.
Yeah, I've only given her a coffee.
Right, so I'm rolling out some white paste again on Trek, so I'll just lift that over a little bit. And I'm using now, nifty nozzles would make perfect circle cutters.
They would.
They would. I've got some little circle cutters here, so it depends on how large you want the eyes to be. I'll use that one. So I'm going to cut out 2. Oh, that'll do. So we've got 2 eyes there. Then I'm going to roll out a small piece of black.
I'll tell you what you could do. See that black of gripper there? See that piece of black gripper there, over there?
Yes.
Pop your cake on top of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Clever.
And can they see him in the screen?
Well, you see the gripper, but it doesn't matter, does it?
No, no.
Okay, so I'm just going to roll out some black. I'm just waiting for it to be launched across the room as I go trying.
You've never had to roll out on top of a tin before,
No,
have you,
I
Marion?
haven't. No.
Okay.
That's one to add to the list of strange happenings. I did actually once when I was demonstrating for the guild, and I forgot to turntable, and they gave me a tip. Okay, so I'm just going to. I've cut out 2 circles using the end of the piping nozzle there. So I'm just looking at what you can see on the screen. So pop that on, like so, and that one, like so. Now, if you want to make this look a little bit sleepy, just roll out a small piece of brown again. And then using the same size cutter that I used for the eyes, I'm just cutting that in half. So you can see I've got one there. I'm going to cut that in half. And then just take a little sliver from the centre to make them slightly smaller, and place one on that eye and one. Remove the sliver.
Are you liking this, everyone? Is she doing well? Who's going to have a go at making this? You have to let me know whether they're saying. I can't see what they're saying.
Right, so
I'll start sending you some love hearts through in a minute.
oh right, right. So we've got eyes on there. Yeah. Just need to press that round there a little bit, and then always, if you have eyes, you have to have a little highlight. So I'm just going to put a little tiny bit of white on there. Roll that out, and the piping nozzle that I use to cut out the little black circles is a size 3.5. So I'm just going to put a little bit of Trex on there and go pop, pop, and water on the eye, and then pop that on there, and take the other one. Always pull the paste away from the circle, and then lift the little circle
They're really dainty.
onto there. So it just gives that little highlight in the eye. So I'll put this on the face now. So I'm going to turn it round so I can see. It's a little bit skewiffy, but never mind. I can see where I'm going to put them. So it's up to you where you have them, whether you'd have it high, close together.
I'm sorry, Marion.
No, it's all right. You can have them like so.
Right, I didn't get them on. Sorry. Can you see?
Yeah, yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
Maria's
Right.
going to kill me for not filming right.
Right, shall I, do you want to tip it to the
Yeah.
camera? Shall I turn it round again?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to roll.
Oh! We might have a flat nose now. Oh, we survived.
Rudolph the flat-nosed reindeer. Right, so a small ball of paste into a sausage and then just taper each end. And we'll moisten along like so.
Round up his nose again.
And that's just, yeah, he's just got a flat one, hasn't he? So a little ball of paste into a ball, into a sausage, taper each end, and so that's sort of for his eyelashes. I'll hold it this time.
Super.
Okay, so we've got that far. We've got a bit of a ridge across there from the black.
Yeah.
thing.
Look at that.
Okay,
Repaired very quickly.
So, yeah,
It looks good.
and then we're going to take some of the brown paste into a ball, and make sure, these are for his ears, so make sure the ears are the same size. So don't mould one and then wonder what the size was that you started off with. So always make sure that they're roughly the same. You can always weigh them. Right, so into a ball and then into a cone, but not really pointy ears. They're more rounded, pointy.
So what do we think, guys? Sorry, I'm having to stick my body in here while I'm filming.
And then
I'm not as slim and delicate as Maria.
right, so we've got, if I actually do this on the hand, that might look better. So I've got the rounded part there, the pointy part there, and I'm just going to press, it could be a paintbrush handle or anything, but just hollows that out for the ear, right? And I'm going to cut off the base and moisten and pop it on like so. And take the other one, and again from the wide base, place that on there and rock from side to side just to hollow that out and put a slither across so you've got a nice flat base to put that onto. A little bit of water on there. So he's got his ears there. Oh, hang on. Get them the right way. I'm working upside down, so that's why it sort of went a bit skewy. Right, okay. Okay. It's definitely different. And so then you would get the antlers and push them. Now, if you're doing a large cake...
I'm glad you're going to put those in, because at the moment it looks like a pig with his tongue out. Once the antlers goes in, he starts to look like a reindeer. It could be anything you want it to be. Right, so that would go like that. Okay. Definitely skewer. And then you could just attach that with, pop on a few bits of holly just to cover up any little joints. Now, if you find on a large cake, your antlers need to be, I mean, they could be upright, but if they're long, you may find that they go a little bit soft overnight in the icing if it's buttercream. But you can always, you know, the matchstick makers, are they called? Matchmakers or something. Yeah. You can always use some of those and then push them in and then just rest the antlers on top so they just act as a support underneath the antlers. So I'm just going to put on a couple of little berries there just to hide the wrinkles. So put those on. 2, 3, and then a nice, you could have a little bow around his neck or a bell. So he's looking good.
2.
He's stopped looking like a pig now. He's starting to look like a reindeer now.
But you can see from that, from the basic shape, it can be anything, can't
I was going to say, it could be a doggy, a cat.
You could do anything as long as you've got your basic shape on. And then just make a little hole in the berries, again with a bit of colour on the end of your stick. And that would give it a better...
Yeah.
But it looks Christmassy.
What do you think, guys?
Looks a bit thirsty, actually. Yeah. He's in need of a sherry.
Come on, everybody. What do you say? Look at that. That was an extra gem that she's thrown in there for you. How amazing is that? Yeah?
Lovely.
Do you all love it?
Yeah.
So show your appreciation, everyone.
It's my daughter's birthday next week. Oh, lovely. Oh, brilliant.
That's good.
Brilliant, yeah.
Good. Oh, excellent. Well done. They love it.
Okay.
Oh, they love it. Well done.
Fabulous.
Right then, guys. So, what fun that was, isn't it? It's your star, an absolute star. So I'm ever so pleased that you've joined us, Marion.
Oh, thank you.
So,
thank you for
as much as Marion said she was pleased and overjoyed to join us, I am so pleased that she joined us, and I'm sure you guys are absolutely amazed, an absolute star.
Thank
so,
you.
if you didn't know Marion before, you know her now. Look at that tokens of appreciation. Everybody loves it. Yeah. Oh. Well, when they send the likes and the love hearts, it means that they've really enjoyed it.
Oh, that's lovely.
Sometimes if it's quiet, it's because they're engrossed watching. Yes. But now they'll start telling you these are the little wow signs. Oh. So fabulous. Thank you, Carol, Marion. Loving tonight. Thanks, Ash. Thanks, Joan. Hello, Linda. Well, brilliant. Well done. Love it.
Lovely. Thank
So
you.
we're not going to do any more questions now because it's 11:10 and Marion's husband has patiently sat in the other room waiting all night. And we have got one hell of a kitchen to clean up and get back all stacked up back in the car. So I will see you next Monday night, 8 o'clock, with Valerie and Christina, the Queen of Hearts girls, who are amazing, aren't they?
Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
What they can't do with buttercream is not worth talking about. They are amazing.
Yeah.
They'll make my nifty nozzles look very amateurish.
Oh, no.
No, they won't. My nifty nozzles are brilliant.
They're brilliant.
My nifty nozzles are for you girls who want to do it nice and easy. Yeah. So Elaine Halliwell, thanks very much for a nice night. Love, love, love. Kelda, lovely evening. Thank you, ladies. So anyway, we're going to say goodbye. Thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Good. We'll see you
really
next year.
enjoyed it. Yes. I'm coming back.
She's coming back. Great. Don't worry. I'll nail the date tonight. Or maybe tomorrow when she's had a rest. All right, guys. Bye.